uwager.lv, Sportsbook, and Casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SPORTSWEB. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
Welcome to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Wow. It was just Thanksgiving, wasn't it? What am I thankful for? Well, these three things. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. Consequently, the Bucs didn't get the memo from What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Boy, oh boy, I don't know what to say, honestly. Oh, I know what to say. The Bucs beat the Saints. How about that? How good does that feel? 17-16 over the New Orleans Saints, and Tom Brady does it again. How do we start off this show? Because I want to hear from you. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. Once again, I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Phone lines are open. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Unbelievable, because the majority of the game was embarrassing, to say the least. But once again, the Bucs show you why they got Tom Brady. It's amazing, Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich, when you put the ball in the hands of Tom Brady, what he can do. I'll tell you what, let's not waste any time with monologues. Let's go out to the phone lines. Mr. Curtis, welcome to the evolution after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers survive in heartbreaking fashion with a fourth quarter touchdown with Tom Brady at the controls to Rashad White to end the game. Your thoughts. Welcome to the Sports Web.
Number one, LFG. Let's effing go.
Okay.
Number one.
All right.
I don't listen. A win is a win is a win.
I agree.
A win is a win is a win.
I agree.
Number one.
Yes.
Number two, as terrible as that team, you know what? I just got off the phone with about 3 or 4 people who wasn't even watching the game. They wasn't even watching the game.
And I'll tell you right now, the majority of the night, again, was just disappointing by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Offensively, I don't know why it takes this team so long to get it in gear. But once again, they get it in gear. They beat the Saints. They put the Saints out of their misery. on again, the night was just bad offensively.
Can I
yes.
see? I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
Can we just start in the hurry up offense the whole game?
Just run it the whole game. Just run it the whole game. Run, hurry up the whole game. Because I tell you right now, if I got to see another first round run or first down run, and it's late, you have to excuse me because I've gone through emotions all day long.
Dude, I've been at work listening to people's crap.
Oh,
watching the game. I'm like,
oh yeah.
God,
I mean, and this starts. Listen, my day. I'm starting off with sales on the phone. I'm hearing people bitch all day long. I'm looking forward to this, and then when I get to the game, I'm hearing people bitch the whole game, and there's nothing I can say at the end of the day. I mean, Brady misses fair share of throws. You have drop passes. Donovan Smith, the most penalized player in the league.
Can we please get rid of Donovan Smith? I mean,
no.
you could suit me up. I could do better than that.
Well, I tell you right now, at the end of the day, this team with Tristan Wirfs out, with Antoine Winfield out, with Sean Murphy-Bunting out, with Mike Evans not necessarily 100%, and again, a large part of this game, not a big-time factor, but Chris Godwin steps up, Cade Otton steps up, Rashad White.
Great catch by Julio down there by the goal line.
Yes, man. Absolutely. And how about little Scotty Miller coming in for Mike Evans? With a major third down conversion.
Off the bench.
Yes.
Cold receiver.
Yes. Absolutely. And listen, I didn't agree. I did not agree with Todd Bowles taking the ball out of Brady's hands there with 7 minutes. I say you go for it. But you know what? He was right. He was right. And this defense stepped up with them being on the field as long as they were all night long. They stepped up. Keanu Neal with a huge play of the game, jarring hit on Taysom Hill there because it looks like Hill is wide open, and somebody has to tell me why this guy continues to get wide open. Oh, by the way, earlier on in the game, Keanu Neal is blowing that coverage, but he makes up for it. Rashad White early on in the game fumbles the ball, but guess what? He catches the winning touchdown. I mean, this team, say whatever you want to. It was an ugly night, Bucs fans. I'm not going to sit here right. I'm not.
You have to win ugly.
Yes, and you do
win. Listen, let me tell you. Tonight is the Bucs night.
Yep.
I'm not getting anything away from the Bucs.
Yep.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave this where it's at.
Yep.
How ugly was the Browns' win yesterday over the Texans?
It's a win. Because Donovan Smith, I almost said Donovan Smith. Deshaun Watson was terrible in the game, threw for 131 passing yards. But at the end of the day, we talk about it all the time, right? Complementary football. Your defense has to pick you up if your offense is not playing well. And the offense has struggled. Again, they struggled for 3.5 quarters of the game. And I will never understand it. But I tell you right now, isn't it not beautiful to see Tom Brady 44th fourth quarter comeback surpassing who? Peyton Manning.
Hey, while Peyton Manning was on ESPN too, running his mouth.
Right.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
All I'm going to say is this, man. It was an ugly win.
Yep. A win's a win. A win's a win.
And you know what? Hopefully this will give this team a spark, a shot in the ass or anything, because we have the talent.
They have the talent, and that's the most frustrating thing about it. I mean, it's emotions all night long. Yeah,
we don't have the offensive line.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that offensive line didn't do a bad job tonight. Donovan Smith with the penalties, they did not do a bad job tonight. They did.
They did. No, you're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure me and you talked about this a couple of weeks ago when Rashad White took over.
Yep.
That 1-2 punch of him and Leonard, if they can keep that consistent,
yep,
that can be very dangerous.
Could definitely be very dangerous. And I tell you right now, being a Bucs fan at this point and watching this team in the fourth quarter can be very dangerous because you can almost certainly have a heart attack again, going through the motions. It's
no different than we used to sit there and watch our kicker. It's the same thing. I wasn't even when we scored that touchdown. I used to have heart attacks about the extra point, but I wasn't even worried about it today.
Exactly.
Now my heart did drop.
Mm-hmm.
when Godwin caught the touchdown and then they called the holding on Donovan Smith.
Yep.
Oh, my heart
Yep.
dropped.
Yep.
Oh, my heart dropped. I was like,
But
oh, my
you know
heart
what?
dropped.
At the end of the day, the Bucs get it done, and they overcome the penalty. They get some penalties in their fashion. The big 44-yard defensive pass interference puts them in position where they go in with Cade Otton to start it at 3:30. And once again, the last time Tom Brady beat a team 13 and down, Super Bowl 51. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. Anything else, Curtis?
Bro, nothing. It was just you know what? I'll tell you what, man. I didn't know what to expect tonight. I was expecting anything except for this.
Yep.
Anything except for this.
Yep.
This right here, nobody could have predicted that. Not nobody.
Well, and it certainly seems like, again, and Tom Brady talked about it in his post game, they're a little bit off on their third down. I saw statistics tonight, and I could not believe this. They're 3 for 47 when facing 3rd and 10. I'll tell you what, Curtis, let me go ahead and give you the Ric Flair. Woo! We got to run here. Let's get out to the phone lines here. Thanks a lot for the call. Use that second one. Let's go out to Alex. Alex, how you feeling? Welcome to the Evolution after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in true Tom Brady fashion, come back to beat the New Orleans Saints to go to 6-6, 17-16. Your thoughts, my friend?
Pete, how you doing, man? Another crazy night of football, right?
I'm telling you, man, because, again, the majority of the night, it was disappointing. It was embarrassing. It was defensive-minded football. It wasn't getting it done. You're missing throws. Go ahead.
I want to start by giving a couple of thoughts. Number one, let's not sugarcoat absolutely nothing.
I'm not going to.
Listen,
yeah.
We were less than 2 minutes away from the most embarrassing loss that I personally witnessed. And the reason why that is, people say, why is this the most embarrassing? Because you're playing a quarterback for the Saints. You're playing a roster with the Saints where, you already don't have Taysom Hill in the game. I mean, sorry. A lot more in that Evans combined. You don't have that.
Right.
We played sloppy offense. We played the same sloppy offense we do every single week.
Correct.
I will never understand. I was watching the first 3 quarters. I observed 2 things, and this is the only 2 things I wanted to talk about here tonight because I don't want to be on here too long. There's 2 things. I have one question and one comment. My question is, why are we continuing to play the same offensive scheme? We run the ball, we pass, we run the ball. The reason why I'm asking that is because there's been so many times in the game today where we're like 3rd and 8. You have a wide open field in the secondary, wide open.
Yep.
But Brady's throwing it 20, 30 yards down the field.
Yep.
I don't understand that offensive scheme. I don't get it.
Well, there's an identity to this team. If they get 3rd and 10, they're not able to convert because there's something along the lines of 3 for 47. It's just ridiculous. You have to have manageable 3rd downs for this team. And now I understand what my co-host Harry, the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports, was saying about running the ball. Because if you get into these manageable situations, more than likely you're going to be able to convert those 3rd downs. But when you get 3rd and 10 or above, then the Bucs are not able to convert it. And for some reason, right.
And instead, if we're 3rd and 10,
yep.
At that point, in my opinion, I don't know Harry's opinion, but I don't think you run the ball there. I think you do a little either a play action or a shotgun pass for the 10 yards you need, but instead we're not doing that. We're throwing the ball 30 yards down the field. You need 10 yards. You need 8 yards. You need 5 yards. You don't need 30 yards. You need 5 yards.
I agree. I'll tell you what, hold up, Alex. Let me go ahead, put you on hold really quick. Welcome to the Evolution. We got Alex on. What's your name? We're going to put you on hold really quick, all right?
Hey, this is Jay from Buckaholics, California.
All right, Jay, stand by. We'll get out to you after Alex, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go. We got Jay from Buckaholics right there. We'll get out to him in a moment. Alex, go ahead. Finish up, my friend.
I just want to wrap up by saying, look, it was a great 2-minute, win. I will say one thing, it's the last thing I want to say with tonight. I think I said this on a page 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again now. When do the Bucs play their good offensive football?
I don't know.
Does anybody know?
I can't tell
I'm gonna
you
tell
that
you
because
I know. I'll tell you when. I'm
okay.
gonna answer your question. When the Bucs are playing the 2-minute drill, the Bucs play their best offensive football
because there's
every
urgency.
single time.
Because there's urgency to it. Because Tom Brady's able to call the plays. Because there's urgency. There's tempo. There's some juice to this team. Yes.
I know you can't play a 2-minute offense the entire game, but sometimes, especially the way we played today, you need to do that more often.
Agree.
Put some urgency in the game when you're so relaxed and everybody's doing. I said this to you several weeks this season.
Yeah.
When you're relaxed and you're doing what the hell you want, there's no discipline. You got Todd Bowles still on the sideline again. Again, let's not forget, we were 2 minutes away from losing this game. We got a terrible PI on a Vince Smith that almost cost us the game again after scoring the initial touchdown. Let's not forget, we almost lost this game, and this conversation will be completely different.
Absolutely, completely
so anyway,
different.
that's my thoughts, man.
Yes, sir.
That's my thoughts. I appreciate you, man. At least we got the W.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we can clean this up. We're still first in the division, thankfully for that. But we still got some work to do, and hopefully we go into San Francisco, with our heads up and a better game plan, okay?
Sounds good, my friend. Thanks a lot for the call. Let me give you the Ric Flair. Appreciate you, Alex. Let me go out to Mr. Jay McElroy here of Buckaholics. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend. I think it's your first time on the show, so welcome. Your thoughts on the Bucs coming back tonight to beat the Saints. The Saints, I hate the Saints. They beat them 17-16 there. Your thoughts. Welcome.
Oh, Mr. Blake, it is my first time calling in.
I mean, what took you so long? I mean, you're Buckaholics. This is the Sports Web. This is the evolution of sports talk television. This is the home of Bucs fans right here. I want to hear all Bucs fans out there right now. I want my neighbors to get upset because we beat the friggin' Saints. Go ahead.
Yes, let's make all the neighbors upset. I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, 2.5 hours from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the Saints with a passion that has been burned into me from birth.
I agree.
It is just fiery in me. And I am so happy that we were able to do this. But I want to can I talk about one guy in particular?
You can talk about anything you want to here on the Evolution, my friend.
I want to talk about one guy in particular, the guy I call Shady Shoddy, the Great White. Mr. Rashad White, number 29.
Yes.
I'm telling you guys right now, I think we found a player.
Well, I definitely think you found a player because if you listen to Herm Edwards, and I was there at the, when they drafted him and got a chance to interview him on the Zoom, and I asked the kid straight out, what did you think about Herm Edwards comparing you to Eric Dickerson? And he goes, he can make that comparison all he wants to. I feel like I'm a Le'Veon Bell. And look, White wasn't perfect all night long. Of course, he had that fumble. It didn't go anywhere. The Bucs defense once again stood up, but you can't put the ball on the ground. But when you need a carry, when you need a guy to catch the ball in a clutch situation, he comes through, and he comes through big time for a rookie. That is huge. I'll tell you right now, K. Dotton started out slow, but he's definitely come on here. The last couple games was non-existent last game, but before that, came on with the Rams, and now you're starting to see Rashad White get those opportunities, and I feel like you got to mix that combination around. You got to have a double backfill with Fournette and White. You got to give Fournette some rest there. And, White is the guy to do it. And he's shown all year long, if there's one thing that he's shown, is not only can he be elusive, not only when he gets out into that open field, he can make things happen, but also he is a guy that can catch the ball consistently. And that is the reason why, Jay, they drafted him in the third round in the first place.
The hands are so key with him.
Yep.
The hands are so key. You said the two back set. I want to see that so bad. Because I could just see them being so deceptive.
Yes.
And you've got Rashad White. Either one of these guys, when they hit the line, they're going to hit it hard.
Yep.
But you don't know which way they're going to go. Lenny's going to spin on you.
Well, Lenny's going to spin on you. Lenny's more of a power guy. He's gotten better when it comes to catching the ball. But let's face it, the reason why Ronald Jones is not here anymore because he couldn't do it consistently, and I definitely think you're right. They found a guy in White who can do that, and they found a guy that Tom Brady is going to. He went to him last week, 9 targets, 9 catches against the Browns. I know it wasn't, the greatest offensive display at the end of the day, but that is big because, at the end of the day, I want you to comment on this because I'm definitely going to comment. And yes, Brady definitely has that fourth quarter comeback surpassing Peyton Manning. But as far as throwing the ball deep, Brady has lost a little bit. So if you can't throw the ball deep, that's going to be a problem. So if you got to throw the ball short, throw it to somebody that's as dependable as White, and definitely White did that tonight.
Yeah, you're so on point with the calling out the long ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. You have to.
I mean, he missed. How many throws did he miss tonight? I mean, you missed the Miller throw that was underthrown. And look, the key thing is, Jay,
you overthrow Julio. How many times did he overthrow Julio? 2 times?
Twice tonight. Twice. Yes, twice.
And I mean, it's been an issue. And I'll be honest, with the play calling, we didn't see that many long balls attempted in the last couple games.
Nope.
Tonight we did.
And the reason why you have that opened up, the reason why you put that out there is because the second to last drive there where K-Dotton scores a touchdown, it sets up that pass interference. And Mike Evans doesn't have Marshawn Lattimore, and that's the reason why you throw the ball down the field, because a 6'5", 6'6" guy is going to be tough to defend. And, of course, something's going to happen, and it did, and it happened in the Bucs' favor. That's the reason why you throw the ball down the field, and that's the difference between this team this year and last year. Over 20 yards, they're doing great. This year, they're middle of the pack. And once again, when it goes down to 3rd down and 10, 3 for 47, 3 for 48 is not going to get it done. They're going to have to improve on this, or they're going to have to change the makeup of their offense. I say run hurry up for the majority of the game. You have to have urgency to this team. This team needs more urgency, especially when they're in the 2-minute drill. It seems like just let Brady call the plays, have that urgency. I get it. It's unconventional, but at this point, you've got to score more than 17 points against the Saints team. And I get it. You get the win, but you got to do more than that. You still got to clean up stuff.
It's the only time we've seen success.
Yep.
Is when we're running that quick game.
I agree.
When we're running that quick game, that's the only time we're seeing success.
I agree.
When Brady's running it like a 2-minute offense, and if he did that from 10 minutes down, we'd win every game.
I agree. What else, Jay?
Hey, can I say something about next week?
Sure, go for it.
Hey, if you're listening right now and you're planning on coming out to the West Coast next week, please come find us.
Okay.
We have events set up all weekend long. We've got a happy hour Friday night, a meet and greet Saturday night, and we're throwing a tailgate in the Blue Lot Sunday morning.
Love it. Absolutely love it, my friend.
We are truly taking over this town over there. We have sponsorships from liquor distilleries. There's going to be alcohol flowing nonstop. We're going to have raffles, all kinds of stuff at all of the events. So if you're coming out to the West Coast, go to buckaholics.org and check out the event. Come join us. Please come hang out with us. The fan family is waiting for you out here on the West Coast.
I definitely got to get out there sometime. I've never been to California, and I love you guys. I love what you guys do with Buckaholics, and always welcome. I tell you what, let's go ahead and schedule you on Wednesday's show. Let's get you on if we can to promote this event, talk some Bucs football. Jay, it's always a pleasure to see what you guys are doing out there. Love what Buckaholics are doing, and you always are welcome on the evolution of Sports Talk Television, all right?
Hey, Peter, thank you so much, and thank you for everything you're doing right there.
Yes, sir.
And I would love to talk to you on Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. We got you locked in for Wednesday night. Thanks a lot. Let me go ahead, and I'll give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let me give you the Ric Flair. Appreciate the time.
Oh, yeah.
Use that second call, my friend, if you like to. And go Bucs.
Go Bucs, baby.
Go Bucs. All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. If I look like I'm sweating, I am. Not only because of this game, but the air conditioning went out in my apartment. So you have to excuse me. I'm glistening a little bit. I think it's good luck. The Bucs beat the Saints. You heard what I said. The Bucs beat the Saints. And a largely offensive showing, to say the least, but they get it done. Let's go out to these comments here. And once again, open phone lines if you guys want to talk about it, because your Bucs now, yes, are in first place at 6-6, playing the San Francisco 49ers. and Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback next week. We'll get more into that, but we'll talk more about this game with you again. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Ben. LFG, agree with you. James Harvey Dent, let's go Bucs. Absolutely. Fire the cannons for that. Let's go on to the phone lines. You ask for calls, you get calls. Ed from Palm Harbor, welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. After your Bucs win in the fourth quarter, once again with Tom Brady 17-16. Go ahead, tell me how you feeling, my friend.
Oh my God! A shout out to my boy who came over earlier tonight. He was watching the game with me, and then he had to drive home 3 hours, and he didn't even know that the Bucs won the game because he got within 20 minutes of home, and he lost signal from 98 Rock, who plays all the games.
Sure.
And so I called him up and I told him the Bucs won, and he still doesn't believe me.
Well, I tell you what, it wasn't looking good. It was not looking good there, Ed. I mean, 16-3, you're down. You finally get a touchdown with 3 minutes to go. And then after that, it's Brady magic. But I tell you right now, it doesn't happen because that defense all night long, say whatever you want to about Carlton Davis getting a pass interference, say whatever you want to about the pass rush not necessarily being there consistently all year long, say whatever you want to about this team not getting the turnovers. But at the end of the day, they stood up tonight. They kept this Bucs offense in the game. They kept this team in the game. And look, if you don't have Keanu O'Neal making the play of the game against Taysom Hill, this is a different show.
A rookie.
I can guarantee. Well, Keanu O'Neal is not a rookie. He's a guy that has been around the league, but he's always been known for his hard hitting. And look, he had a mixed bag tonight. He gives up a touchdown to Taysom Hill, but when Taysom Hill is wide open there on third down, he makes the play to jar the ball loose, and then at that point, the Bucs are able to get back the ball.
But isn't Rashad White's a rookie, right?
Rashad White is a rookie.
Okay,
yes, he is. And so is Cade Otton. And both of those guys were big tonight once again for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, what else do you want to talk about?
I just want to ask you a question once again about the contract situation about Tom Brady.
Go ahead.
So, is it so that if he wants to opt out, he can? Is that part of the deal?
I'm under the impression, and don't quote me on this, that he's under contract until 2026, and there's something out there that's saying he's like something along the lines of a $25 million or $30 million cap hit. So that's a possibility if he walks away. I'm not thinking about it right now. I'm just thinking about this season. Any way it goes, the Bucs are going to be, in some cap hell, but I got confidence in Jason Light in this organization. And again, not the best game that Tom Brady has played, but when you need the greatest of all time to step up in a clutch situation, he gives you everything you need.
It done.
That's the reason why you're able to pay the money. That's the reason why you're going to cap hell. That's the reason why you can look back 2 years ago and have a Super Bowl. Is this team perfect? No, they're not. Do they have things to clean up? Yes, they do. Should they be scoring more than 17, 18 points a game? Yes, they should. But at the end of the day, they're still looking at 6-6.
I mean, the 2-minute drill is perfect. They should just go to a no huddle. Just go to a no huddle.
And that's what everybody's saying all night long. Go to the no huddle offense. Go.
Man, it's a no
I don't understand why it takes this team with their backs against the wall to, basically start doing it. Start, putting first downs together, start converting, start, just moving the ball. I don't know what it is. You know what I think it is? I think it's the fact you put the ball in Tom Brady's hands. You let Brady call the plays, and this is how you should go throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
Let him call the plays. Let him call the plays. That's it. Hashtag it. Let Brady call the plays.
We need to write a letter to them and let them know what's going on.
I doubt they care what we think. I think they care what we think, but I doubt they care what we think, honestly.
Yeah, but honestly, though, wasn't it Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills that came up with the no-huddle offense?
Yeah, K-gun offense. Absolutely,
yeah.
K-gun offense.
Yeah, well, I mean, we should run something similar to that. We'd win more, I guarantee.
Yeah. Well, you need to run the ball more, too. We talked about it over and over again. We seem to be like a broken record talking about the same things. But, again, at the end of the day, the Bucs get it done in ugly fashion, but they beat the Saints, who have been a thorn in the side of the Bucs. I hate the Saints as much as I hate the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't
Saints
care if the air conditioning's out. I don't care if I'm glistening or sweating right now. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. There's not going to be anybody that's going to be able to ruin my day. Not anybody.
Today, I don't even care if they make the playoffs. I'm just glad that they beat the Saints twice.
Well, they still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. That's the point.
They still have an opportunity to make the playoffs.
You've got to take care of business.
Now. The Saints are done.
Saints are done at this point.
Yep.
They should be done. So, all right. What else, Ed?
That'll do it, man. You have a great night, and thanks for having a great show.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Let me give you the Byron Leftwich.
Baby?
Let me give you the Ric Flair. Appreciate the call. As always, open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. We'll go out to more comments here from Ed Peter the Great. Let's go Bucs. Love it. Fire the cannon. Also, guys, there's Facebook stars out there. Please give to the effort. There's also YouTube chats. Please give to the effort there. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Like I Love St. Pete, The Hub, Amped Up Sports. And, of course, like my page. If you're a Bucs fan, friend me. I'm friendly, usually. I got to be honest. I was ready to come on here and rip somebody to shreds. Really was. But we're not. We're about to go back out to the phone lines here. Rick from Newport Richie, welcome to the Evolution as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the New Orleans Saints 17-16 and another Tom Brady fourth quarter comeback. Your thoughts?
I don't even know where to begin.
I mean, I don't know where you can begin either, because you know how we feel about this. We were texting during the game. We had texted last week about this team. They shouldn't have lost to the Browns, but then again, they should have because they lost time of possession. They turned over the ball tonight. They played probably the 3.5 quarters of the worst offensive football you've seen in Bucs history. And that's saying a lot because there's been a lot of Bucs bad offenses in their history. And somehow, some way, they get it done and beat the Saints 17-16. Make some sense of it.
I really can't. I mean, I started watching the game, and outside of the first drive, it just looked like what it's been looking like all year long.
Yep.
And I can't put my finger on it. I mean, obviously, my if I have to put fingers on anything, it's going to be on Todd Bowles' head, and it's going to be on the OC's head. I don't even like saying his name anymore.
Yeah.
Those guys need to go. They are dragging this team to the bowels, okay?
Yeah.
But it just seems like there's too many weapons on this team to be fluttering like they are now, and I can't figure it out.
There's so many things you can point out. I mean, whether it's an offensive lineman getting penalties. By the way, Donovan Smith, thanks a lot tonight for contributing to that. I didn't realize, but he is the most penalized player and nearly cost this team the game, with Chris Godwin making a splendid catch, an even better throw because Godwin is the only one that's going to catch that ball. And then, of course, it's nullified by that penalty. But this team is good enough to overcome that. Usually not this year. But whether it's a penalty, whether it's Tom Brady missing deep throws, which we saw that tonight, whether it's getting into those 3rd and 10 situations and not able to convert 3 times this year, Rick. They've only converted 3rd and 10. I mean, that is the difference. And then on top of it, once you're not able to sustain those drives and you go 3 and out, or you're not able to have that time of possession, your defense is basically worn out because they're on the field all night long. I feel bad for them. But look, the defense tonight, go eat at Eddie V's. They had some coverage bust there with Keanu Neal, but Keanu Neal made up for it. I'll tell you what, guys, go eat at Eddie V's again. Go eat every Monday night. I think every Bucs fan would go and put together a GoFundMe so you guys can go eat at Eddie V's, because that defense kept this team in the game all night long.
It did, even though the defense has got some issues as well.
Agree.
Okay, the kid McCollum, I mean, I don't know how many times this guy's been out of position, fell down, cutting the wrong way, not doing his job. Yeah. And it's cost us all night long. I don't know how many big catches were made in front of him.
Rick, somebody has to explain to me why you've got McCollum, who's a rookie, on Chris Olave, who's also a rookie. But it's a terrible mismatch. Why isn't Carlton Davis on him? Why isn't Jamel Dean on him? I don't understand it. It's a mismatch nightmare. And look, credit to where credit is due. The Saints coaching staff made those adjustments. That's what you do. You win those one-on-one matchups with Olave, and that's a bad mismatch. And McCollum was victimized all night long from it.
I know, and I do have to say, I totally agree with what you're saying, but I do have a couple things to say.
Sure, go for it.
First off, I mean, obviously with the offensive troubles that we've had, I almost let a little bit of that go today because they even mentioned at the beginning of the game, the Saints defense has been unbelievable so far. What they did against San Francisco last week, if it wasn't for San Francisco's unbelievable effort, I mean, the Saints were basically shutting them down last week. So, I mean, the Saints, you got to give them credit. So for that, I gave the Bucs a little bit of slack. But to me, the number one thing outside of the coaching situation that we've got, obviously, is the offensive line. Because the bottom line, everything starts from there. Brady doesn't have the time to let our receivers get downfield. He's getting rid of the ball quicker because he has to, because he's feeling the pressure a lot quicker. Donovan Smith, even though I would love to harp on him all night long, a lot of this, I believe, is because he's trying to do too much to cover up from all the inefficiencies that we have on the offensive line. He's the only healthy basic starter that we've had coming back. So I think that what's happening is that he's trying to do too much to overcompensate and getting caught into some bad situations and getting those penalties. So
absolutely,
it all starts with the offensive line.
It's an astute point because you talk about Ali Marpet, and we've talked about it. Nick Leverett's in there; he's gotten better for them. Luke Gedeke was not the answer; he's a rookie. But it's one of those things that we really didn't consider with that chemistry, right? Your offensive line. Look at the Rams this year and their deficiencies on offense, and even getting Matt Stafford hurt and being out for the rest of the year. What is the difference when that team has a consistent offensive line like they did last year? When the Bucs the last 2 years had a consistent offensive line, their offense was that much better. Now you see all these moving parts, Tristan Wirfs being out, Ali Marpet retiring, Ryan Jensen being hurt, and I get it. It's week 13, next man up, but it is
there's things you can do.
Right.
There's things you can do to alleviate that. There's, you can bring people in to pick up the blitz. You can bring extra blockers in, like the Titans. That's why we miss Rob Gronkowski as much as we do. So you can do things like that, and I think they knew to. It's going to limit the offense a little bit, but if you give Brady time, he's going to find you. But until we can give him time and find ways to give him time, it's going to be like this. So they need to figure that out. They need to understand it. We need to bring people in here and an extra blocker or whatever it is to give him that extra couple seconds to make something happen. I believe he can.
I believe he can too, and they're gonna have to. I think this is the type of team you're gonna have all year long. They're still trying to find themselves, and hopefully Brady can do something about the accuracy, because it's his he's lowest. His completion percentage is his lowest in his career. I'm not making that up. That's true, ladies.
No, I know.
And whether it's wide receivers dropping the balls, which we've seen a lot of that this year, or him missing, which he missed quite a bit of big plays tonight. You got to start making those, especially when you got those one-on-one matchups. When your guy beats the other guy, you've got to take advantage of it. That is what football is all about. I've not played a lot of football in my career, but just knowing that you have to win your matchups. And when you win that matchup, you got to take advantage of it. And they didn't do enough of that tonight, in my opinion.
You're absolutely right. But the good thing is that after this win today, this is why this win was so big today. This separates us from the pack there in our division, okay? So after this win, we can basically take the rest of the year to just work on getting better. We don't have to worry about being in that snake pit we would have been in had we lost this game, being half a game ahead of the Falcons, half a game ahead of the Saints. Now we've put a little bit of distance there with the easier part of our schedule coming up, that I think that we can take some time now. Now you also, I mean, the 49ers just lost, their quarterback. So, I mean, it sets up beautifully for us, but we need to start getting better. We need to start figuring out how to get him more time. We need to start getting healthy, and we need to start figuring out ways to be a little more inventive and stop running the ball on first down, every single first down, like we talked about last week. And I think that we can do it.
And when you do that, you see the pass play action work in the same breath. When you go past play action and you see Julio Jones wide open and he's got to step on his man, you've got to complete that pass. When you got those opportunities, you've got to make them. And that's been the disappointing thing about Tom Brady. But once again, I mean, he gets it done. He's clutch. He's just the most clutch player of all time in sports. I mean, I thought I saw that in Joe Montana when he was in San Francisco and even Kansas City, but I'm wrong. And you just step back and think about it. The consistency factor, and I get it. He's not the same player, but he's still pretty damn good, right?
He's pretty amazing. But there is one more thing that I want you to harp on, or I want you to talk about and look at.
Sure.
Mike Evans. As much as I love Mike Evans, which I do, and I love the guy immensely, I really do, a lot of the blame it has to be put on this guy. I mean, Mike Evans, as good as he is, I mean, they were talking about him all throughout the game, about how he was basically invisible most of the game today. And I think a lot of that has to do with Mike. Mike is not getting separation.
Mike's not getting
That's
separation.
why Tom's not hitting him.
And I don't necessarily think Mike is 100%. I think he's got
that may be the case. If that's the case,
right? I think it's a rib injury, and you look at it at the end of the day, right? I mean, Marshawn Lattimore's getting out of the game. He's not in the game, but you don't target him, Rick. I mean, you targeted him last week and only got 2 catches. You didn't target him.
I think the reason they didn't target him was because he wasn't getting separation. Yeah, Godwin was getting separation. Julio Jones was getting separation.
That's a fair
Tom's
point.
Tom's going to go to the hot guy. He doesn't care who it is.
That's a fair point. But on the Julio Jones throw early on in the second quarter, you also, if you watch the replay, you have Mike Evans, and he's actually more wide open. And you're right. Tom doesn't go to him. He sees Julio Jones. He overthrows Julio Jones. But Mike is getting the separation. It's just sometimes, again, it's just a combination of things. It's a combination of, in the back of his mind, he's trying to, and that's the problem, right? I mean, that's the problem with having the offensive line. He feels the pressure. He doesn't want to get sacked. He doesn't want to throw an interception. Throws his 3rd interception tonight before halftime, which takes points off the board. Great play by Demario Davis, who's one of the best, most underrated linebackers in the league. That kills you.
Amazing.
But at the end of the day, you're exactly right. There's so many combinations of it, and you take it for granted, right? I mean, I think you, as a fan, you're watching it, and you're seeing how easily it can be done with this offense the last 2 years. And now you're starting to see some of the warts because Tom Brady is quickening his pace. He's trying to avoid the pressure. It's in the back of his mind. He's not hitting wide receivers when he needs to. That's the problem. That's the problem with the offense right now. But once again, with all that being said, they're 6-6.
And he's the man. All right. You have a great night, my friend.
All right. Appreciate you. Definitely use that second call. Let me give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let me give you the Ric Flair. Appreciate the call as always, Rick. Thanks a lot. Open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the New Orleans Saints 17-16, a 4th quarter drive for the ages. What do you want me to say? All right, Curtis is calling back. All right, Webhead, what do you have to say using your second call? Go.
Yeah, Rick is right, man. I know Mike is not getting separation, but you're right too, man. Mike is beat up, man.
Yes.
Mike is beat up really bad.
Right.
And the thing about it is I think the heart of this guy is not going to go out there and let his team be out there without him.
Yeah.
And, here's the thing. No matter how beat up he is, no matter what we say about him not getting separation, that pass interference play was the game.
It's huge. And those are the hitting yards, Curtis, and those fans out there, and people will go, well, they got let off the hook because, Mike Evans got it should have been called. And the reason why it's called is because of that mismatch nightmare. That's the reason why scouts are looking for guys that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", with speed running 4'4", 4'5". You can't teach that. And on top of it, you can't guard it.
Nope. But yeah, that no matter what people say, you have to account for Mike Evans.
Yes, you do. You always do.
Because I'm sorry, even when this guy was getting the ball thrown to him by Jameis Winston or whoever else, this guy was going out there and performing.
Don't you feel like they're going to get this together? I mean, we keep on saying it. When is the week to get it together? And I feel like eventually they're going to get this together, or we're just going to be.
I think they're going to be fully healthy going into January.
Well, I mean, I hope you're right about that.
I think they're going to be fully healthy going into January. I think that they're going to figure out what's best for this team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually was just that's another reason I called, because you see a lot of these teams, Green Bay and Dallas, and a lot of these teams running these 2-back sets.
Yeah.
We could do the same thing.
Yeah, you definitely do the same thing. And again, Rashad White comes in the clutch. I mean, such a big time catch for him, and Brady has confidence in him.
Because here's the thing, not only can that kid catch the ball, but Fournette has proven he can catch the ball just as well.
That's it. And that's what you need in this offense. And look, if you can't throw the ball deep, and we've seen Brady not be able to do that consistently, I think eventually he'll be able to put it together. hopefully. But if you can't throw the ball deep, you're going to need that dink and dunk, right? We know from the New England offense, that's what you get.
I was just going to say, in New England, he nickeled and dimed you to death.
Yep. James White called. He wanted to know what you were thinking about. And it was kind of, the same thing, same type of player, right? Rashad White, James White. I think Rashad could be better, but James White, that dependable running back that you need outside of the backfield, comes out of the backfield, makes those catches in space, can be somewhat electric, can make you miss. That's what you got with Rashad White.
And the craziest thing about that New England offense was they would nickel and dime you
to death.
And as soon as you step forward too much, he'd go over the top on you.
You're exactly right.
And there'd be nothing that you could do about it.
Right. Exactly.
And we all know this offensive line is the offensive line of hell.
Yep.
But guess what? Like you said, it's the next man up.
Yep.
I don't know what to say.
This edition of the Sports Web brought to you by Tums, because you had mostly heartburn all night long watching that offense. And I tell you right now, nice. you go down to it, and it's become a family affair in my house, and it's become somewhat of a battle between myself, my mother, and my aunt. My aunt and my mother saying, "Listen, you need to have confidence in Tom Brady," and sure enough, you respect your elders. Mom and aunt are always right. And sure enough, Mom and aunt are right tonight.
And, listen, I told you I was calling people and people weren't watching the game. And, for the life of me, I'm not that guy.
No.
Listen, let me tell you something. I've watched Jameis Winston throw 5 interceptions, and I sat here and watched the game until the clock hit 000. And I'm like, how the hell did I just sit and watch this? Like, I love my Bucs. I love my Bucs.
I know. I'm here with you, my friend. We've been here together for some years now, haven't we?
And yeah, absolutely. And listen, when they scored that touchdown, I went outside and screamed Tampa to the top of my lungs.
I hope you did. I hope you did,
there was a guy 3 doors down. He came outside and screamed "Bay" as loud as I did.
Well I'll tell you what. Why not do it now? Do it for me real quick here. I say Tampa. You say
Bay.
Tampa.
Oh, Bay.
Tampa.
Bay.
All right, my friend. Good stuff. Finish up here. Any final thoughts?
Just listen. We just have to stay consistent. Here's the number one thing is, and I hate to be the guy to be looking for it already, but we have a big test on Sunday.
Well, let's get a big test on Sunday. National Football League means not for long, and also any given Sunday. And of course, you got Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy there. The quarterback at the controls taking over, looked pretty good against the Miami Dolphins. A surprising win, especially losing a Jimmy Garoppolo. So you're exactly right. You got to go out to the West Coast.
I'm gonna tell you something. I've been looking at that Miami team. Don't get me wrong, that offense is great.
Well, they're missing both of their offensive linemen. You're missing your Terrence Armstead and Austin Jackson. You just picked up Eric Fisher, who was a #1 pick in 2013 off the street. So we could sit here and talk about, all the skilled positions and quarterbacks and running backs all you want to. But at the end of the day, we know this all too well. You got to have an offensive line to block for you. You just got to.
My thing with that Miami team is that defense is good, but it's not great.
It's not great. It's not. You're exactly right. It's not great.
And that's why Miami has to put up 30 points.
They do.
They have to put up 30 points a week.
Yeah.
And if they don't put up 30 points a week, we see exactly what we just seen out of them in San Francisco on Sunday.
I agree. I'll tell you what, Curtis, I got to run. Good stuff as always. Let me give you the Ric Flair again. Appreciate you. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Evolution. All right?
All right, brother.
Let's get out to Dave here. Dave, welcome to the Evolution after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers come back in the fourth quarter to defeat the New Orleans Saints. How you feeling, my friend? 6-6. Dave, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, buddy? How you feeling tonight?
Well, I'm getting over my almost going to the hospital after cardiac arrest.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, okay?
I'm doing all right.
Trust me, I'm there with you. Like I said, I was there. I was ready to explode when I get on this this broadcast, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And then sure enough, in Brady we trust. So your thoughts on this victory here?
Exactly. Can we just not let Tom Brady call the plays?
Just let him call the plays. Let Brady call the plays. Say it with me. Say it. Let
Brady call the plays.
Say it again.
Let Brady call the plays.
Say it so everybody at One Buck Place can hear you.
Let Brady call the plays.
There you go. Let the truth set you free. And I feel like that's what you got to do sometimes, honestly. You really do.
Well, I mean, really, seriously, sitting on the sideline, like watching the game. Like I'm here in North Carolina watching on ESPN, but you look at the last like 3 minutes of the game, you're watching Leftwich just sitting there watching Brady work. You know, I mean, it's sad. Like I just don't understand it. Like, I mean, the whole like 3/4 of the game, watching run, pass, run, screen. Here we go. It's so frustrating compared to when we had BA. I'm sorry, BA was just more of a
no risk it, no biscuit. I mean, just exactly. And I get it. People are well, they don't run the ball. Man, they were scoring points. You know, at the end of the day, to be fair, this offensive line was there. They were consistent. You didn't have the injuries. You didn't have the turnover like you had this year. So maybe it's an unfair comparison, but at least you had an identity. At least you're throwing the ball. If you're throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game, we all know this. We talk about it all the time on the evolution of sports talk television, the sports web, and I Love St. Pete, Amped Up Sports, and the Hub. This team is deadly when they're more balanced, but you know, enough with the punts. It was a good call. I'm going to tell you right now, I was disappointed. I know the crowd was disappointed when Brady wants to stay on the field with 7 minutes. But You know what? At the end of the day, he was right. He let his defense play. You get back the ball with 3 minutes to go. You go down and score a touchdown, and then you get back the ball again. You have 3 timeouts. Thank God you knew how to manage the clock, Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich. Todd Bowles more than likely that. You have 1 timeout to go. And of course, you go on with Rashad White there with the throw right in between Demario Davis, who earlier on in the game had the interception. So better clock management this time. Still conservative play calling. I still will say that the identity of this team, and even Troy Aikman mentioned it tonight, the swagger of this team by BA, they're missing that. And I hope that they kind of get that back. Just let Brady call the plays. What else?
Well, I mean, like, look how many times we don't take any shots downfield, like maybe twice a game now.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I mean, it's pathetic. Like,
the reason, listen, Dave, the reason why you don't take those shots down the field, and you had opportunities tonight. You had Scotty Miller, you're underthrew him, which, by the way, I thought the refs were blind on that because he was clearly interfered with. He had his arm grabbed. You can't touch the player on that. But if the ball is thrown in the exact spot it is the last 2 years by Brady, that most likely is a touchdown, or you call the penalty in the first place because the guy has to interfere with them. You miss Julio Jones a couple of times tonight, but with that being said, when you need a third down there with Scotty Miller to convert it, he comes up big. He comes in from Mike Evans. He gets that big-time third down conversion. When you need an amazing catch by Julio Jones at the goal line to set this team up in 1st and goal, you get the amazing catch. So
that was a crazy catch. I thought that was intercepted.
Yes.
I thought that was intercepted.
Absolutely.
Like, I was like, oh my! Me and my son were watching the game together, and this was like he even thought it was intercepted.
Well, that's Jones wanting it more than the other defender. That's what it comes down to. You know,
the old Julio showed up for us.
That's it. That's it. You needed that. You needed that tonight. You need everybody tonight. So,
but now I've got a new nickname for Bowles, though. It's No Balls Bowles. So because he doesn't go, he doesn't go for it at all. Like we just don't have these dog us in us anymore at all.
Well, I've been very, very critical of Todd Bowles and his comments last week of not wanting to throw an interception when you have the greatest of all time. Could you imagine here, Dave, if you put the ball in his hands versus the Browns? I mean, what does Tom Brady do best? He is a clutch quarterback, 44 comeback wins, surpassing Peyton Manning in the 4th quarter. I mean, I get it. You think he's going to – I don't know why you think he's going to throw an interception because he only has 3 this year, 2 at the time versus the Browns. but put the ball in Tom Brady's hands and let him work.
Exactly. Who has more interceptions this year, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
It ain't Tom Brady. It's Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. But it's like I said, Todd Bowles, like when he said that last week on the podium that about killed me, I was like, you're talking about Tom Brady.
Are you talking about Jameis Winston? Are you talking about Trent Dilfer? Are you talking about the greatness of Mike Glennon? We're talking about Tom friggin' Brady.
Exactly. Like that was my only thing tonight. My thing tonight was something we're getting beat by Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Andy Dalton. Andy friggin' Dalton for the majority of the game.
Exactly.
Majority of the game.
But here's my thing. How many passes did Taysom Hill have tonight? 1.
Yeah.
Every time Taysom Hill shows up in the game, why don't you just if he beats us with his arm, that's fine.
Right.
But like every time he shows up in the game, why don't you just go ahead and know he's either going to hand it off or he's going to run.
He's running the ball up the middle. I mean, it's not hard, guys. I mean, this ain't difficult. This ain't rocket science, and I get it. He may have an opportunity to throw the ball, which he did one time tonight. But when Taysom Hill usually is getting the ball under center from the shotgun, he's running up the middle. Okay, be ready for it. It's coming. It's going to happen. I don't know how every NFL team can't defend against it, but sure enough, it's coming.
Exactly. I don't understand that. Like I was sitting there watching that, and I'm like going, well, they're going to run the ball with Taysom Hill because he's under center.
Yeah.
I mean, he got us that one play. That's fine. It's like a Tim Tebow moment there for a minute, but you know, just like
he beat Keanu Neal. I don't know what the heck that was, that breakdown there, whether it was Jamel Dean early on in the game to go up 7-3, but it was a complete bust. It looked like it was Keanu Neal because they were talking to him on the sideline. That has happened too many times this year. And that's also a problem that they got to clean up because you can't continue to have communication breakdowns. And I get it. Keanu Neal has not played a lot of games this year, but he's still a veteran. You're depending on him with all the injuries, Antoine Winfield Jr. being out, Sean Murphy Bunting, Mike Edwards. I mean, that hurts, but guys like Keanu Neal have to step up. And even though with that blown coverage, he probably makes the biggest play of the game. With that hit on Taysom Hill, Hill catches that ball. We're talking about a different show here on the Evolution.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But the thing is, like those guys are like this first year in their defense. They're gonna have a little bit of communication problems with that stuff. But but like I said, it all comes down to like our whole offense. It's just our offense is what I'm gonna be honest with you. Our defense hasn't played bad all season. Like they've been pretty decent. But
sure.
Our offense has to score points, and to me it falls on Leftwich, plain and simple. I went back and watched the 2018 Cardinal games, and this is the same offense they were running before.
Well, again, we talk about play calling, running on first down, and then you change it up and you go past play action, and the play seems like it's there and you don't execute. There's so many things here that are wrong and there's so much potential. I mean, do you feel like they're going to get this together? Or are we going to, have, is this going to be the cardiac Bucs all year long where they have to depend on Brady to come back in the fourth quarter? Because I just don't know if you can do that, but why rule it out?
I have the feeling it's going to be cardiac Bucs the rest of the year because seriously, like Leftwich and Brady, like, unless they have a meeting of the minds and come down to like, this is what works, this is what doesn't.
Yeah.
They're not going to go anywhere. But, the whole thing that comes down to me is like, I just don't know if I just really don't feel like we're not going to the Super Bowl this year. There's no doubt. I'm sorry. There's too many other good teams in the NFC right now. Like the Eagles, it's going to come down between the Eagles and the Vikings to me.
Well, I'm not ready. Again, I'm not ready to rule it out, but has this team shown they're a Super Bowl contender? Not by a long shot. But at the end of the day, what you got to do is focus on winning your division. Of course, one game at a time. I know it's an old tired cliche. Have they shown me that they're even a playoff team at times? No, it's very frustrating. I want to pull my hair out and I got lots of hair to pull and I really want to pull it out. But again, you have Tom Brady, you have a chance to win, especially when it comes down to the fourth quarter. What else, Dave?
Well, the thing is that also you got to look at the Evans-Brady connection. This isn't there this year.
It isn't there this year. I agree with that. And I think it's either a combination of things. I think, it's frustration. I think it's also the fact that Mike Evans may not necessarily be 100% at this point. He's got to get healthy.
He's not 100%. No, he's definitely not 100%. But
no.
the one thing they do have going for him, though, is Godwin is starting to get stronger.
Right.
I mean, Godwin is starting to get back into the Godwin of last year before he got hurt.
I agree. Big game for him tonight, by the way. Let's take a look at his numbers. 8 for 63, of course. It looks like he catches the winning touchdown until it's nullified by Donovan Smith and his penalty, but it doesn't matter because the Bucs are able to convert and once again go on with Rashad White.
Well, I heard you earlier about Donovan Smith. To me, after this season, we really need to start looking for a new left tackle. Like Donovan Smith I don't understand it. If it's not because Marpet's not there anymore.
I think it's a big part of it. I really do. And I think a lot of us were kind of understating and saying, Donovan Smith's going to be fine. But him and Allie with that chemistry playing so many years together and being friends off the field. And that's a big thing, and Devin White and Levante David kind of hit this on the head where this team was more together when they were going through the pandemic and haven't been necessarily together. And they're missing that chemistry. And they're trying to rectify that by going out to Eddie V's on Monday night. And they're trying to come together at the end of the day. So it's been a tough situation for Donovan, but it always goes back to what I say with BA a couple years ago. BA said it best. Smith wants to knock the hell out of you and he loses technique. And there are times where his technique is not the best. And look, stats don't lie. He's the most penalized player in the National Football League. He's absolutely regressed this year. He's got to get better if this team wants to go anywhere. You were fortunate tonight to win, to overcome it, but you can't keep on committing those critical penalties because it's going to cost you, and it has cost this Bucs team. So you can't continue to do it. They were lucky tonight. They were fortunate. Better to be lucky and fortunate than to be penalized. But we've seen it. We've seen it happen too many times this year with breakdowns, especially with that offensive line, and that has been the biggest key to the year.
Yeah, it almost cost us big time tonight.
Yep.
With that Godwin catch.
I agree.
We were already celebrating, and then all of a sudden it's and then as soon as they called a penalty, I knew who it was.
Yep.
And then, but like I said, I think it's time to move on from Donovan Smith after this year. We need to really find somebody to do because either that or get somebody, or he needs to get somebody with some chemistry next to him because it's just not. It's like I said, the whole thing about him is it's just like you said, he tries really hard, and I appreciate the guy, but it's like, dude, he has killed so many drives for us this season. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Agree. He did. He had it last week when Brady throws a shuttle pass to Rashad White, and looks like they converted on the third down, and it gets nullified again because of a penalty because you put hands to the face to Myles Garrett. The ref is going to call that every time because they're looking for it, and they're looking for Smith because they know he's the most penalized player. And look, I get it. There is holding on every play in the National Football League, but when a ref is looking for it and you put a target on your back like Smith has done all year long, you're going to pay the piper, and they did tonight. They were fortunate.
All right. Well, here's my question to you, Peter.
Yes.
So after this season, regardless of how far we go, do we keep Byron Leftwich after the season with Todd Bowles, or do we move on?
Get back to me after the new year, okay? Because I go back and forth on this, and I was looking at something last year. I've been the biggest Byron Leftwich fan, and I thought he was great.
I have too. Don't get me wrong. After 2 seasons, I was too.
And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the play calling is just not there. And again, whether it's execution or whatever, it's just has not been good. Just get back to me after the season, and we'll see how it plays out. All right, Dave. What else?
So if Brady decides to play another season, and if he comes back to us, does Byron stay?
I don't know. I mean, you see the embrace on the sideline there. It seems like you're kind of joined at the hip at this point.
Well, to me, it looked like Byron was embracing him, saying, "Thanks for saving my job for another week, Brady." So.
Exactly. And I posted this interview on my wall with Fred McGriff, and McGriff said it best. Brady came to town and basically saved a lot of people's jobs. Right? It saved Jason Lai, BA, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He saved a lot of jobs. And sure enough, Brady may do it again. So I don't know, man. You know, it's been frustrating. I've been upset, and then you're happy, and then you're anxious. I just don't know. I'm sweating. I got no air conditioning right now. Thank you very much. What the hell is going on? How the hell can you not have air conditioning? But sure enough, we don't have air conditioning tonight. But you know what? I could care less because the Bucs just beat the Saints 17-16 to go to 6-6.
Yep. Well, I'm originally from Winter Haven.
All right, my friend. Well, we're used to the heat, and again, the heat is on. We'll see what they do next week versus the San Francisco 49ers. We'll be back tomorrow night, Dave. Definitely tune in, all right? Let me give you the Ric Flair. Woo! Let me give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Appreciate the call. Use the second one if you like, all right, my friend?
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Late night here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Giving you something to think about. Yes, I have to work tomorrow, but I'm here for you. Let your voice be heard, Buck fan. Let's go out to Mr. Dave. Dave, welcome to the evolution after your Bucs beat the Saints. Turn down your radio or whatever you got there. What do you have to say, my friend?
Hey, this is Dave from Clearwater over here. I'm on the road over here in Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Okay.
I'm fucking freezing. Oh, excuse my language. I'm freaking freezing my butt off. It's 48 degrees and it's freaking raining.
But it feels good, doesn't it, Dave? Because the Bucs are 6-6, right?
It does feel good. But I gotta admit, I was kind of pissed off because I go in to watch the game inside the truck stop, and they can't change the channel. I guess because it's changed by the corporate. I said, you can't call corporate and get them to turn on Monday Night Football. They're like, no.
What the hell is that? What kind of corporate crap is that? So who's running that there? They need to be fired. Fire that guy. What are they doing?
Screw you. You're fired.
What's that all about? You can't put on Monday Night Football? Who's the corporate guy I got to call? What do I got to do here? I'm fired up right now. What do I got to do?
I would have paid at that point. I would have paid $20. That's like I watch it on a freaking 30-inch freaking screen. I mean, it wasn't a very big TV, but I was like, fuck it. I was like, hey, 30-inch screen, I would pay $20, but I couldn't get nobody to call corporate to change it. So I was like, all right. So I basically listening to the first quarter on my AirPods. And of course, the first drive was awesome, but I wish they would have went for it and scored a touchdown instead of a freaking field goal.
Well, that's been the most disappointing thing also. You mean you go down on a 16-play drive, 16 plays, and you settle for a field goal. I mean, that has also been the story, the red zone deficiencies for this team, especially early on. But again, they got to clean it up.
I don't think it's necessarily Tom Brady's fault because he seemed like he was pretty hot today as far as his passes. I mean, a couple passes were a little off, obviously, but no one's perfect, no matter how good you are. But it was just the point. The defense played pretty good with being banged up. I think they played good. Carr Nassib got another sack. I don't know how many sacks he has.
Very nice. Very good game by Nassib. Nassib had some big plays in this game, especially that sack. Good sack for him, and the Bucs needed that. They definitely needed that sack from him, and he's got to step up.
I mean, yeah, that one at the end of the game that he got was definitely good because it put him in a position that they had, a little over 2 minutes to go down and score because obviously – they couldn't just do it with a field goal.
Yep.
They had to get a touchdown and get the extra point. So
correct.
Obviously we knew if we got the touchdown, that Succop was going to get the extra point because he's been 100% this year on extra points, hasn't he?
He's been the majority of the time. He's been pretty good on his extra points. I think he may have missed one. I'm not certain of that, but I believe it's one. But yes, he's money on that, but he never could turn off the game when it comes to the Bucs. I mean, you just can't.
No. It just seems like, yeah. I mean, I got season tickets, but obviously I was on the road, so I gave my.
Did you have to pull off to the side of the road? Did you get a chance to listen to the end of the game at least? Because you couldn't watch it. Were you listening on the radio?
No. Listen, I woke up. I literally lay down. I was listening to it on my AirPods, and then all of a sudden the internet went out. So I was trying. My phone was literally stuck with it saying that the Buccaneers on the Buccaneer app it said 16 seconds left, and it said that it still said we were losing by one freaking point. So I didn't know if we won or we lost. So I'm sitting there like, what the hell, man? What's wrong with my internet? The radio's not coming off. I can't even hear if they won. then all of a sudden my phone gets a notification that says we won.
Well, there you
by
go.
1 point, and I was like, oh gosh. I'm like trying to make me have a heart attack, man. That's what our Bucs have been doing for years. But I mean, obviously with Brady's been a little bit better, but it just seems like they're known to making us have a heart attack or something.
They are. They're known for, they definitely should have the Bucs on prime time, even though the Bucs don't necessarily play their best on prime time, if you will. But definitely comes down to the fourth quarter. And when it comes down to the fourth quarter, the money man himself, Mr. Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, comes through in the clutch.
I think my thing is, and I was saying at the beginning of the year that we should have got him. I don't know how you think about it, but I think we should pick up Baker Mayfield. I mean, I don't know about Trash. Don't get me wrong about Trash. Maybe he might end up being a good quarterback later on, but I don't think he's quite ready. I think this is probably Brady's last year. Probably. I mean, I'm not sure because you never know with Brady, but I think we should pick up Baker Mayfield. Make him the freaking backup.
Well, he's on waivers. The Carolina Panthers waived him today because he found out that not only he's not going to be a starter, but also a backup. I don't know. There was talk in the offseason. They had some interest. BA possibly had some interest when he was a coach. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback at this juncture.
I think honestly, he was hurt. The last year he played with the Browns, he was hurt.
There's always an excuse for Baker Mayfield, and I've been on this show and defending him. I'm just not sure. He's getting into that bust territory at this point. But if Brady wants to come back for another year, you definitely consider him coming back another year. You just got to put a better offensive line around him. Again, is he missing throws? He still is missing those throws down the field. But once again, he's clutch.
He missed a big one. I mean, he did miss that big one to what's his name, Julio Jones.
Julio Jones, yes.
Just had a reach, but I mean that happens. I mean, like no one's perfect on every freaking pass.
No, of course not.
There's no way to do it.
Of course not.
There's no way to do it.
Of course
you
not.
might let it go. You might let it go a second too late. You might let it go a second too soon, and it ends up a little bit further than you wanted, or a little bit too short. You just never know. But I think overall we did good, and considering that the defense was hurt, banged up. I know we had several key players out. I think that the defense kind of stepped up and did what they needed to do, get away with it. Although I wish that we would have had a freaking, we would have blew the Saints out. But considering that we won, was the end result was is better than the loss.
Better than the loss. I agree. I absolutely agree, Dave. What else?
I really don't know. I just hope. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be gone for like another 2 weeks on the road, probably, or. I just hope I'm back for the next home game. Not that I don't mind giving it away to someone that would want to go to the game. I mean, I actually gave it to my ex-wife, and she helped me out a couple of times when I needed it.
Well, what a good man you are. You're a good man. That's good for you. I hope you get back. And
I probably could have sold it for like $500, but
sure
I'm not greedy.
Sure you could, but Merry Christmas. It's the time of giving. Hopefully the Bucs don't give any wins away. They go to San Francisco next week. You feeling more confident about this team going to San Francisco next week?
Yeah, I mean, especially I wouldn't wish harm on anybody, but especially since the starting quarterback is down and they don't really have any quarterback in San Francisco right now that's going to be worth a darn. I don't think, unless maybe they might pick up Baker Mayfield. And, but I don't think if they pick him up, he's going to be, starting right away. So I don't know about that, but.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to pick up Baker Mayfield, but at the end of the day, you still got Tom Brady. Definitely keep tuned in here. We'll be back tomorrow night here. I made a decision to do a show on Tuesday night. Usually hate Tuesday nights, but we want to get a reaction show tomorrow if people weren't up tonight. So we'll be back 9 o'clock tomorrow night live here on I Love St. Pete, Amped Up Sports in the Hub. How about that? All right?
All right, sounds good, buddy.
Sounds good, Dave. Thanks a lot. Let me go ahead and give you the Macho Man. Let me give you the Ric Flair. Woo! Appreciate the call, all right, my friend?
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, good stuff there. Let me read these comments. Open phone lines if you want to get in on the action. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I'm trying not to neglect you here. We have lots of phone calls tonight, lots of reaction. But stand by. I will read some of these comments as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the New Orleans Saints 17-16. A ugly win, but the most beautiful win I ever saw in my life. I'm Just saying. All right, let's go back out to these comments here. Ben Parrish, what a game. Absolutely. Mike COC, unreal. Absolutely. Go Bucs. Let's fire the cannons for that. Let's go out to Carl here. Give me, oh hell yeah, I shall.
Give me a hell yeah.
All right, there we go. Nelson says the GOAT is the GOAT is the GOAT. Nelson, I know you text in, so if you're still watching, definitely call in to the Evolution. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Scotty Miller, huge catch there for the big-time third down conversion to set up Rashad White. But what a catch by Julio Jones. What a catch. And by the way, Jones tonight, 3 for 28. But a major catch there at the goal line to set up the Bucs first down and goal. And Brady missed him all night. But he finally got him. That's what you envision. That's the reason why you pay Julio Jones $6 million a year. To make those fantastic catches. You know that he can make those catches. He's been a Bucs killer his whole entire career with the Atlanta Falcons. Do you recall? I do. And now he's on the winning side. That's a good thing. That's a real good thing. All right, let me go out to Bucs Dad 101. Ugly win, but you sweep the Saints. Exactly. All right, let's go out to Ben Parrish. Our 2-minute offense is unstoppable, isn't it? I'm telling you, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
Woo!
Isn't it?
How about them Bucs, baby?
Just run the whole 2-minute offense the whole freaking game. Because I've been saying it all year long. You got to have urgency to this team. This team doesn't have enough urgency for the first 3.5 quarters. And I'm telling you right now, I have people texting me saying, I'm falling asleep during the game. Don't fall asleep. Wake up. Tom Brady's got the ball back. I actually had a woman text me and said, Tom Brady's going to lead this team back. No way. Never count him out. Never count him out. Let's go out. So LFG, absolutely. Woo! Let's go out to Tampa Bay. Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay. But the lead here is Bowles made the call to punt, and it was the right call. That it was. Because there was some controversy with 7 minutes to go in the game. Bucs in their own end. 4th and 10. Offense struggling at that juncture. Not able to get it done. And you see this team on 4th down punt way too much. But at that point, there's still 7 minutes to go in the game. Todd Bowles believes in his defense, and his defense is correct. It was a correct decision. Even though you don't like it, even though you're upset about it, even though you want to throw your remote through the TV and break it, don't do that because you're going to have to pay for it during Christmas time. And those TVs aren't cheap. It was the right decision. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So you're absolutely right. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
We needed to see life in this team, and they were behind Coach Bowles, and they are, and that's the start. Good comment. I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Nelson again. Yes, can we talk about 76? We have talked about 76. Most penalized team. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, I absolutely do want you to call in. We got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. And he just, this is what I love about Bucs Nation. This is what I love doing the sports web late at night, because you never know who's going to text you and say, hey, you need me to call in? Absolutely. So we got a special guest coming in here. Let me read the rest of these comments, and then we will get out to him when he calls. I can't take no more of this drama, but you love the drama. Everybody says save the drama for your mama. Save the drama for Tom Brady. He definitely comes through. 44 fourth quarter comebacks, surpassing who? Peyton Manning. Eat your heart out, Peyton Manning. No doubt the greatest of all time in Tom Brady. No doubt. Look at his numbers tonight. And again, been very critical. I told you it's been a family affair. It's been a family affair so much that Mom and Aunt Tammy are calling you on the phone and saying you're wrong. Who the hell are you? You're just a sports broadcaster. You don't have 7 rings. You don't know what you're doing. Correct words. That's what they said. I swear to God to you. Swear to God. Mom and Aunt Tammy calling me out saying, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But he missed some throws tonight. But when it counted, 36 or 54, 281, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I'll take it all day long. I will absolutely take it. All right, let's go out to Mario here. Listen, I'm sorry. I tried with Donovan Smith, but we have to let him go. The most penalized player in the league, not just the division or conference, the league. Shaking my head. It's a good comment. I agree.
How about them Bucs, baby?
He's definitely regressed this year and could have costed this team a victory. Withholding. And again, they are going to. All right, real quick, let's go out to this guy here, Mr. Buck Warrior. Jamie, welcome to the Evolution after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the New Orleans Saints 17-16 to go to 6-6. Your thoughts, my friend? Welcome to the Sports Web.
Just wow.
Man, you got to be more excited. Come on, Bucks Warrior. You got to be more excited. I say Tampa, you say Bay. Tampa.
Bay.
Tampa.
Bay.
Tampa.
Hey, but I got to kind of keep quiet. The baby's
keep
sleeping.
It down or the baby's sleeping? Okay.
Yeah. but what a game. And I got to say something.
Yes.
Even Big Nasty, we're calling out the fair weather fans.
Mm-hmm.
He calls them the jump chip or chumps, whatever.
Right.
But all them fit fans that left don't even deserve this win because you never count out Tom Brady and this Buccaneers team, no matter how bad it is at the beginning. But the clock was still ticking, and then we come out victorious.
Jamie, I tell you what, I want you to call me back because I got a special guest here. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put you on hold really quick. You got this special guest. I want you to listen to this man of the Buccaneer Radio Network, Mr. TJ Reeves. Welcome to the Evolution after a unbelievable win. For the majority of it, this Bucs offense struggled, but they get it done in Tom Brady fashion. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend.
Had them all the way, brother. Had them all the way. Unreal. Yes. Metaphorically, you're in the ground with dirt on you.
Yes.
Dead.
Yes.
And get the ball back with 5 minutes to go and find a way to get down the field. Most importantly, quickly outside the 2-minute warning, saving all of your timeouts and having the 2-minute warning to be able to get the clock stopped a few times if needed. So I can only tell you that it's easy to say this now, but when they got the ball back with 2.5 minutes left, I'm thinking replay of the Rams game. Yeah. The only thing I kept saying almost half jokingly is do not leave them any time to go get a field goal to win the game.
Exactly.
You're going to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
And it turns out you had to get in the end zone twice. You got in the end zone with Chris Godwin, and it's called back, and then you get in the end zone with Rashad White. So I have just left Raymond James Stadium a few minutes ago. I texted my man, Peter Blake, for the Sports Web and said, do you need me? And I got the text back, do I? So I am here. I am present and accounted for. Fire away, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you right now, like I said, the majority of this game, the offense really struggled. I mean, what do you see from Brady? Because I've kind of I said this before, I've gotten to a family affair or family fight with my aunt and my mother here, but they mentioned it, the big plays, which the Bucs lived off of last year, those 20-plus plays, they're not on display anymore. Brady is missing those throws. Is that what you see? And what is it, in your opinion? Is it Brady father time? Is it timing? Is it offensive line? Is it guys dropping the balls there? What is it with this offense in 20-yard plays?
It's probably a combination of all of those things. Mm-hmm. You're pressing a little bit. You're 45 years old. So, yes, it's those things. And in certain situations, you've got to make the play somehow, some way, and he knows that. I mean, the long one to Julio Jones, he just overthrew it by probably 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah. Or
it's maybe a 60 or 70-yard play, if not a touchdown. So those are there. They got back in the bad habit again, and again, it's up to whoever's interpretation of, is he checking out of plays down the field and throwing 1 and 2 yard passes, or is that by design? We don't know that answer, but over and over again, we keep seeing fall in love with a 1 or 2 yard pass. And other teams start sitting on it, and by the second and the third quarter, you can't get yards doing that. So it was tough to watch for a while. I get it. There were a lot of boos in the stadium. I don't know how much that was coming over ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
And then the decision to punt the ball not once but twice in the fourth quarter. I mean, the fourth and 7 at the 40-yard line to start the fourth quarter where you punted the ball. Okay, you got the whole fourth quarter, and at that point it's only a 13-3 game when you did that.
Right.
But with 7 minutes left at 16-3 to punt the ball, there were a lot of boos, and I think a lot of people were understanding you may not get the ball back here. They may kill most of the clock and leave you only with like a minute left or 30 seconds left the way they've been eating the clock up. But then again, you get the ball in the hands of Tom Brady, and he made things happen on those final 2 drives once again, just lethal. It's incredible to be at field level and watch that. I mean, Peter, the Rashad White play is right in front of me. I'm at the 3-yard line, and he got the ball and had to make great effort just to, extend it and get it in. Mm-hmm. Remember, you still had a timeout left. You'd have probably had maybe 2 seconds left because the clock would have still been running to run one more play on the goal line if he doesn't get in. What a redemption moment for him after fumbling earlier in the game. How about this? Mm-hmm. The last 2 games at Raymond James Stadium are a touchdown to rookie Cade Otton.
Yes.
With 9 seconds left.
Yes.
A month later, a game-winning touchdown with 3 seconds left to rookie Rashad White. That's back-to-back games at Raymond James Stadium for those 2 rookies to catch the game-winning touchdown with under 10 seconds left from Tom Brady. You talk about an all-time story to tell for both of them.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's the reason why I continue to go back to this, TJ, and we're on with TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network here on the Evolution. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. White, the reason why he is drafted in the 3rd round is because, he can catch the ball consistently. He can pass protect. You can depend on him. Do you see him in this game plan more and more? 9 catches last week, tonight, some big catches, even though he puts the ball on the ground. It certainly seems like Brady has lots of confidence in these rookies, namely a White.
Yeah, and he had 6 more catches tonight in this game. And again, you feel good for him to go back to him after they stripped it out and got the fumble in the 3rd quarter when he was training for extra yards. But you need he and Fournette. Let us not forget Leonard Fournette had a couple of big carries and a catch on the final couple of drives, too. You're going to need the 1-2 punch down the stretch of the season. I cannot emphasize enough that in that locker room, you're elated, you're thrilled, and then you're contemplating. You just swept the Saints for the first time since before my 14-year-old twin girls were born, Peter.
Oh, my
They
gosh.
were not born in 2007. That's the last sweep of the Saints. It has been a while.
Yes, it has.
And you put the dagger in them for the division. They're done. They're now 4-9. They are now 3 games back in the loss column, and you have the tiebreaker. They're done. So now you are in control of winning two more to get to 8 wins, probably wins this division. 3 or more in the last 5 definitely wins the division. So that's what this comeback ultimately means tomorrow, later in the week, 2 weeks from now, to get that win against that team. You've basically eliminated them tonight. They're done. They're toast.
Wow.
So now Atlanta and Carolina are hanging on the fringe, kind of like hanging over the cliff by your fingernails in the movie. They're hanging over the edge. Atlanta, a couple of games back in the loss column. They have a bye coming this week. And you have the tiebreaker over them at the moment. So it may come down to the final game in Atlanta. Long, winding road may end in Atlanta with the final game against the Falcons. But, again, the gravity of that win tonight against that team with what was riding on it, and the fact that the division is still the only path basically to get in the playoffs is win the division, and you just took a big step towards winning the division tonight. It's not over,
right? But
you took a big step tonight.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you look at the record, and this team, they may get in with 8 or 9 wins, but you get in because you never know what can happen. Look,
That's right.
We saw the
That's
Washington
right.
Commanders a couple years ago during that Super Bowl year scare the hell out of the Bucs game in that wild card.
Yep.
You just got to get in, and you got the most clutch player in Tom Brady, and I get it. He's been missing throws. But once again, I mean, what can you say about him? Did you get a chance to talk to him? Did you get a chance to talk to the players after the game? And did they seem like they were relieved with this win over the Saints after adversity all night long?
I think it was relieved. I think it was elation. So I didn't get a chance to interview him. I know he went to the podium and talked to the media, but he was spending some moments with his teammates, with Chris Godwin, with Rashad White, with Mike Evans. In that locker room when I got in there, I get the chance to get in there right before the rest of the media, and rightfully so. And he ran off the field right with me, and Tristan Wirfs was there to greet him. And you may have seen this now on ESPN. They were leaving the air showing it too, where Wirfs is standing there in the walking boot because he's going to be out at least a couple of games, we think. And the embrace there was one of victory for sure. For Tom Brady running off that field like the conquering hero. He embraced him, and then he's holding the hat up again just like he did in Germany at the end of that game. So what a moment, and we'll see what it leads to, but you can't say enough. What those guys were saying to me, Kate Otten said this, Nick Leverett said this, Chris Godwin said this, essentially the same thing. They didn't have to really say anything on that final drive to each other. They believed. They weren't having to encourage each other. The only thing Nick Leverett said that he said to Donovan Smith, who he calls Donnie, he said, I went right over to Donnie and said, Donnie, shake it off. Next play. We got to block him on this play. And he said, we're going to pick you up. We got this. And Donnie said, I'm good. Donnie said, I'm good, meaning Donovan Smith. And I mean, talk about adversity. You get the game-winning touchdown, Peter, with 16 seconds left, and it's called back on a penalty.
Yes.
You had to win the game twice tonight, brother.
Yes.
Did it again 13 seconds later. So that was pretty amazing to watch and be part of at field level. You love this, too, because it's just like the Rams game. Yeah. All of the national media, ESPN, the NFL Network, they had all gone to the New Orleans sideline for the post-game interviews with all the Saints to talk about the win. And here they all came once Julio Jones caught that ball and got inside the 5-yard line. Here comes 25 media members and producers all back to the Buccaneers sideline, standing inside the 10-yard line, waiting to see how it would end. And it ends with a Rashad White touchdown. His first ever receiving touchdown in the NFL is a game winner on Monday Night Football from Tom Brady with 3 seconds left.
You can't.
Are you kidding me?
It's storyline. It's almost like the Keanu Reeves football movie there, and I'm trying to think of it right now with Gene Hackman.
The replacements.
It's the replacements all over again, TJ. They think they win the game. They pick up a penalty, and they have to do it all over again, and they're able to accomplish it. Talk about the accomplishment of Chris Godwin, what he's done. 8 catches for 63 yards. You've seen this young man. Does it seem like he's fully back healthy at this point?
Yes, mostly. The explosiveness off the line, the ability to get open and get yards after the catch, it's there. And so that's great news for the stretch run here because you got a long way to go. I mean, you got 5 games left and then the postseason, and you want him playing at a high level. Coming into his own, he worked so hard to get back and to get healthy, and give him credit and give this team credit. I mean, Julio Jones has gotten healthier, and Julio Jones looks like the Julio Jones that you thought you were signing the second half of the year, which you and I have been talking on your show and even privately. Were you ever going to get anything out of him with the knee problems?
Right.
But whatever he has found, whether it is the fountain of youth, whether it is Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid clapping the hands and putting the hands on the knee.
Yes.
I don't know. But he can run, and he can run down the field and stretch the defense. And so that's helping. Mike Evans obviously is still a weapon. They didn't go to him enough at the beginning of the game, but they went to him as the game went on. And just give this team credit. I know the knocks and the critics are going to be how dreadful you looked on offense after the opening drive for 3+ quarters. But the end result is, did you win or not? And they did. And I like what you said. Find a way to get into the tournament. Because one thing's for sure, you're guaranteed a home game in the postseason if you can win the division. And I'm taking my chances with the guy I just saw again in a home playoff game. With what I just saw again tonight, Give me a home playoff game, and I will take my chances with Tom Brady.
And here's the thing. The Bucs are going to drive you crazy probably in that playoff game because they're going to probably play the Dallas Cowboys at this juncture. They're going to play bad 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden they're going to find a way to win in the 4th quarter. We're on with TJ Reeves here of the Buccaneer Radio Network, sideline reporter. Great stuff as always. Of course, we do the No Quarter Given podcast with Jason Powers, Buck Power, talking to.
So I get a text from you. Did not text me. Jason Powers texted me, and you got to understand my phone. No offense to anybody, my phone goes crazy at the end of all these close games. Right. I don't get a chance to look at it usually till it's over. So Jason Powers sends me a text that says, "This is miracle of miracles if you pull this out." I don't know at what point in the final drive he sent that, but call it, okay, Powers, call it miracle of miracles because you found a way down 13. And I believe this is the case because I think ESPN said it leaving the air. It is only the 2nd time that Tom Brady has been down by 13 points with 3 minutes or so left and won the game. And you saw it tonight on Monday Night Football if you were privy to watch it or be at Raymond James Stadium. And I'll say this, there were a lot of people that left with 7 or 8 minutes left, but there were probably a good 40 or 45,000 that were still there. And my God, if you stayed. Yes. Oh, if you stayed at the end of this one, Peter.
Well, and in the last game that he won with 13 points down, by the way, Super Bowl 51 versus the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sorry about your luck. 28-3. Who could forget it? One of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. Speaking of this, I was talking to fans tonight, and I said, you know what? We need to put together a GoFundMe account to pay the defense to go out to Eddie V's every Monday night so they can have this type of defensive effort. Because, look, you can say whatever you want to about the defense, but at the end of the day, biggest play of the game, Keanu Neal with the knockout of Taysom Hill there. Looks like he's wide open, big 3rd down conversion. You knock that ball
right
out.
in front of me. Right in front of me, by the way.
Talk about this defense.
That guy has been a Buccaneer killer. There he was for the long touchdown again tonight. And if Keanu Neal doesn't get him out of bounds and doesn't stop him, he maybe scores, and then the game is absolutely over there late in the game. And then, late in the game, he breaks the pass up from the tight end to make sure that you're going to get one last chance with Tom Brady. How about the Saints? You talk about kicking them while they're down. All right, we're going to do a little bit of that on the Sports Web.
Let's do it.
How about the Saints with 3rd and 1 with the game on the line, throw the ball and throw it incomplete. And then on 4th and 1 with a chance to go for it and put the game away and not give the ball back to Tom Brady, elect to punt the ball and give it to him. They need 1 yard running it on 3rd and 1 and potentially on 4th and 1. And that 1 yard ends up being crucial because they give the GOAT the ball back. And look what he's able to, 91-yard drive on the second to last drive, 63 yards on the final drive. We are privileged. We are spoiled to have watched this for this long, and now we're watching it in Tampa Bay. And I got a couple of media honk friends that are in New England that are Bostonites and can't get enough right now of trying to rip the Buccaneers while they lose.
Sure.
Believe me, they're hearing from me right now on another Brady comeback because guess who's got TB12 and guess who in New England doesn't have him anymore for these magical moments. So it was something else.
It was definitely something else, and I don't believe that rumor that came out about him going back to New England. Why do you want to go back to New England when you still have the weapons? You can fix this offensive line. I get it. Brady is not as accurate as he usually is, but I think they can make this work and make it happen. With that being said, you've seen Mike Evans. Do you feel like he's 100%, or does it seem like he's suffering from that rib injury? Because I didn't understand the game plan tonight. Only 1 catch before halftime. You have Marshawn Lattimore. I get it. Dennis Allen is trying to game plan for him. But does, in your opinion, do you think Mike Evans is 100% at this juncture?
Only he can answer that. But, he can run after he makes the catch. So it's not like he's laboring that you can see or can tell after the rib injury that you're talking about. And that was the Rams game, I believe, when that one happened.
Correct.
All right. So from a game plan standpoint, I'm not trying to defend not getting him the ball. You got to get him the ball.
Sure.
But there were probably a couple of times in that first half where there may have been a play where they're trying to get him the ball, and Brady doesn't have time, and Brady doesn't see him, and he ends up trying to dump it off. That being said, I think most of Tampa Bay is over the 1-yard pass. The 1-yard pass to backs or to receiver screens or to the tight end, to the exclusion of trying to throw the ball down the field to Mike Evans. You go 4 possessions and you didn't throw the ball one time his direction. That's got to be better. You got to self-scout. You got to figure that part out. And they did finally start dialing some stuff up for him, because he truly is your best weapon down the field in terms of catch radius, length, that kind of stuff. Not blazing fast, but fast enough. And obviously another play in the comeback is the long bomb where he's interfered with, where if the Saint DB doesn't grab him, that's going to be a touchdown. I mean, he's cutting to the middle of the field. The ball is there, and that's going to be a touchdown bang on that would have made the game 16-10 right there. Instead, you had to run a couple more plays, and K. Dotton got the touchdown. So I think getting the ball to Mike Evans needs to be a priority earlier in the game. They have got to look at that, get it blocked better, et cetera, because this is really 2 games in a row, including the Cleveland game, where you have not done a very good job of getting your best down-the-field weapon. I know Julio Jones is a down-the-field weapon, but I'm still rolling with Mike as a younger player as your best down-the-field weapon. Find a way to get him the ball, and let's see. Again, I cannot overemphasize how important getting this win tonight is for the division. I think I saw the win probability for the division, if you win tonight, is 80%, 79 or 80%.
Nice.
That is because at 6-6 now, you basically only need 2 more wins to have a really good chance, and 3 more wins are going to guarantee, because I don't see Carolina or Atlanta getting to 9 wins.
And
in part, Peter, I didn't mean to interrupt. In part, they're going to have to get to the 8th or the 9th win by beating the Buccaneers in the 16th game and in the 17th game. So good luck with that on the line. Carolina revenge game for the Bucs at home, and Atlanta at Atlanta in a winner-take-all maybe. I'm not favoring them against Tom Brady either.
No, definitely not. And I've said this before, when you have Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback, you don't have a starting quarterback, and the Falcons found that out yesterday with some of the decision-making he had. It definitely hampered that team.
And bear in mind, Atlanta still plays the Saints. They both now go on the bye week, and Atlanta plays at New Orleans in 2 weeks. So there's where you would want the Saints to regroup and beat the Falcons. And if that happens, at that point, Atlanta would be 5-9 with 3 games left, including the Buccaneer game.
Right.
So at worst, that's the week that the Bucs are playing the Bengals. At worst, let's say the Bucs split and are 7-7 while the Falcons are 5-9. It's all but over, brother.
Yeah.
It's not completely over, but it's all but over.
With that being said, what do you think it does for this team? They got a tough matchup. You got to go out to San Francisco. Although Jimmy Garoppolo was out for the year, you got Mr. Irrelevant. You got Christian McCaffrey, who, by the way, could get out of bed tomorrow and get hurt. I mean, the guy is always banged up, so there's no certainty at this point. I mean, somewhat of an advantage, but still, you got to go out there and play that game. And then in 2 weeks, you got a matchup at Raymond James Stadium. The young Joe Cool there, a lot of people comparing him to Joe Montana and to Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, coming to town to face the Bucs. So it doesn't get any easier, but do you think this win gives this team that momentum on Sunday to take care of business versus the 49ers, who are, quite frankly, banged up?
In a word, yes.
Okay.
It gives them momentum. Now you got to go put the work in. It's a shorter week. It's a long flight out there. We're going to leave Friday afternoon, but it's an equalizer that Garoppolo's not there, because Brock Purdy is a rookie. He's Mr. Irrelevant. The final draft pick of the 7th round was the 49ers taking Brock Purdy out of Iowa State. And now we will see. It is obviously going to be a low-scoring defensive battle, and we'll see what the Buccaneers have for the 49ers. I just know this. You got some pep in your step now at 6-6, and you got a little leeway here to go out there and play San Francisco, and maybe you don't come away with a win. But at worst, you're coming back home with the Bengals in the same scenario as tonight, where if you get that win, if you don't get that win in San Francisco, if you get the Bengal win, you're right back to 7-7, and you're in control of your own destiny again to win this division with an 8th or a 9th win, finishing at the Cardinals, Carolina at home, at Atlanta, and we shall see. I know this. Find a way into the tournament. Find a way into the postseason, and they took a large step tonight with that win, Peter Blake.
Absolutely. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Evolution.
Hey, listen, thank you. The Nothing But Bucs podcast will be out about midday tomorrow. All the full radio highlights with Mean Gene Deckerhoff and Dave Moore. Post-game interviews, I can already preview it for you. You'll hear from Rashad White.
Okay.
You will hear from Chris Godwin on the post-game on Buccaneers Radio. You'll hear from Cade Otton. You'll hear from Tom Brady. You'll hear from Todd Bowles. I'll go ahead and tease it for your audience here. I said to Todd Bowles, was that play to Rashad White after the timeout the same play, or did you change it? And he looked at me and said, I'm not telling you. So it was his answer. Take your own guess. Was it the same play, or did they change the play when the Saints called timeout? Whatever the case is, it worked to Rashad White at the end. So you'll hear all of that. Nothing But Bucs is the podcast. Buccaneers mobile app. Wherever you get podcasts, look for Nothing But Bucs midday Tuesday. Heck, in about 10 hours, probably. 10 or 11 hours. That bad boy will be out with a full recap, Peter.
Sounds good. To get me through my day right there, Mr. TJ Reeves, the great TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network sideline reporter. Let me give you the Byron Leftwich.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Absolutely.
Appreciate
How about
you, buddy.
17-16 and a sweep over the Saints for the first time in 15 years? Thank you very much. We will take that off of Monday Night Football. Savor this, Buccaneer fans. Another last-second win for Tom Brady in Buccaneer colors.
Yes.
We love it.
I love it. Good stuff there, TJ Reeves. Thanks a lot for your time here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, all right?
Yes, sir. Be well.
All right, we'll do right there. We're headed to the 1 o'clock hour, over the 1 o'clock hour. I hope my neighbors like this. I'm sorry. I paid rent, even though the air conditioning is out. Not because the electric was turned off, because the Bucs are hot right now, right? 17-16 over the Saints. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Jamie, you can call back there. Let me keep on reading these comments. Nelson, I know you called back before. I don't know if you guys are still tuned in, but once again, thanks a lot for being a part of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. You make this show go. I love Bucs fans. You know why? Because I grew up watching the Bucs when I was 8 years old, when you couldn't watch the Bucs at home because they were blacked out. So you had to listen to Mean Gene Deckerhoff. One year you had to listen to Jesse Ventura and Dave Logan and Hardy Nickerson and Dave Moore. And the list goes on and on and on. So I know what it is to lose, and I also know what it's to win. And the Bucs won tonight 17-16 to go to 6-6. Open phone line again, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Oh, looky here. Who do we got? Mr. J.C. Allen of Pewter Report. Welcome to the Evolution after the Bucs take care of business over the Saints. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm exhausted, but, that's what happens when you let Tom Brady work.
Well, and I put out the hashtag here, JC. Let Brady call the plays. That should be the new hashtag at this point. And I tell you right now, if you could do anything, and somebody suggested this, and I don't know how realistic it is, because I think you got to have urgency to this offense. And the majority of the game, you did not have that. But go to the 2-minute drill to start the game. Go to the 2-minute drill when you're not able to convert 3rd and 10, because this team has had all kinds of problems with that urgency word, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at when they go into the hurry-up offense, it's night and day from when they're normally out there. I mean, the first down runs were called again, and, very, very little success to them setting up them again in 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. They did a better job converting in these 3rd and longs. They're about 53% on the game, but it's still the situation that they got put in, could be rectified easily by just sequencing the plays. And even when they did utilize certain plays, like play action, and it seems like it's as not as effective on those first downs. You're running into loaded boxes, and then as we see with our eyes, second and third down rushes are coming free. So on when they're going into hurry up, defenses don't have that luxury, and that's why they're having so much success. And for the most part, Brady's out there and quickly calling the plays, and you can see the effect that it has on the team. They start to gain a rhythm. They start to gain confidence in one another, and they ended up pulling out another comeback win like they have earlier in the season against the Rams.
Yeah, a 44th career surpassing Peyton Manning. I mean, we talk about Brady and his missed throws. I mean, that's been evident. Lowest completion percentage he's had in his career, but at the end of the day, he still gets it done. I mean, what did you see on that last drive? Any doubt? You've seen this before. You've seen him work with the Patriots. Same thing, right? Just a different story, different team?
I'm not going to say there wasn't any doubt there. But prior to those 2 touchdown drives, I did put out a tweet saying, I've seen Brady do some miraculous things, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it this time. Foot in mouth. He did it again. I just didn't know. Just with the way the team was playing, the management of the play clock, the management of timeouts the last couple weeks. It's been one of those things where how much do you trust this team? How much do you trust the coaching staff? And at the end of the day, when they put the ball in Tom Brady's hands, you got to trust him, and they actually trusted him to do that. Unlike last week when they were fearful of him throwing an interception and not calling timeouts, they let Brady do what Brady does best, and he showed up for it and showed out for it, and that resulted in a Bucs win with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. And, you think this team's got to feel good now. Sweeping the Saints, the first time they've done that since 2007, getting two wins against them.
15 years. Yeah, amazing.
15 years, yeah. I mean, Brady was asked about that. First touchdown passes you've thrown, and he kind of jokes, like, I'm not sure to be insulted, but that's a fact. So, it feels good to get the win, and you can tell the guys coming off the field, the guys in the locker room, they're really excited about coming back and not only just beating the Saints, but also getting to 6-6 and keeping their dreams alive for a real good playoff push. They got a couple good teams up ahead of them, and it doesn't slow down. But I think this team has shown they can find a way to win. And it could be getting reinforcements back with Antoine Winfield, Mike Edwards, and SMB next week.
Yeah, I mean, how much of a loss were those guys tonight? I mean, Keanu Neal, I don't know what that was on the coverage to Taysom Hill wide open. Looks like it was a coverage breakdown. You see on the sideline there, it seems like he's talking to Levante David. I guess that's bound to happen because Neal hasn't played a lot this year. He's still a veteran, but he's still learning this defense. But then he makes up for it with the play of the game. I mean, talk about his play tonight and the defense overall. I was talking to fans saying, look, we need to all come up with a GoFundMe so all this defensive unit can go out to Eddie V's every Monday because their defense definitely kept them in the game tonight.
Absolutely. Has been the entire season. The Bucs, talk about the Bucs not being able to score points. Well, defense has really done a great job limiting teams from scoring points themselves, ending drives when they need to, and giving the offense every opportunity. The offense just hasn't really been able to take advantage of it. Keanu Neal, that play was doubly hard for me. It cost me my fantasy win this week with Taysom Hill, but he did more than make up for it, with his play throughout the rest of the game. Some really hard hits.
Right.
They really missed. You could tell that they really missed, even though they put a solid performance in. But Zion McCollum had some really tough mistakes playing nickel. They missed Antoine Winfield there. The pressure situation before Nassib got that sack. They said Levante got one earlier. It just seems like they couldn't get home for a period of stretches, and Dalton had all day to throw back there. So definitely pass rush needs to improve. That's but situational football is where it comes through, and you saw that with Nassib sacks. But this defense, I don't think they were ever the real problem. Could they have let up less runs? Yeah. Less rushing yards. Yeah, probably. Could they have more turnovers? They're still one of the best teams in the league, but consistently get more turnovers, more sacks. Still top 10 in the league in both of those categories. Yeah, of course they could, but I think it's always been the offense that needs a team dinner. Maybe they need to go to Eddie V's.
Maybe
they've struggled moving the ball, and talking to Ryan Suckup afterwards. Again, it was his 3 points that led the team almost through 15 minutes and 15 3 quarters, 11 minutes, and almost 50-something seconds.
Yeah.
Before they finally got into the end zone again. So,
well, JC, I saw an amazing statistic tonight. We're on with JC Allen of Pewter Report, of course. Started off here on the evolution of sports talk television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. 3 for 47 when it's 3rd and 10 or more. I mean, the key is manageable football. I mean, were you surprised by that? Is that a real statistic? Because they were pointing that out all night long, and it seems like it has been the bugaboo of this team when they get into a 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12. They're not able to convert that first down. Is that a real statistic? Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, I don't know the actual statistic, but it sounds about right. They've had struggles on 3rd down all season long. Converting this is, was focal point, 53% on 3rd down. They can still get better from there, but you look at this team and they have room to get better everywhere. The red zone struggles popped its ugly head again, especially on that first drive. It seems like the Bucs, they can go down the field and put 3 on the board, but after that they just kind of fall apart on offense, and we saw that again until later in the game. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what the quick fix is to be more efficient on 3rd down. Execution is definitely a part of it, but at the same time, it all comes back to play calling and play sequence. And when you're running on 1st down and you're not getting any yardage, and you're setting yourself up in 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 10 even, and then you have an incomplete pass on 2nd down, and now you're in those 3rd and long situations. And teams know what's coming. They're loading the box on 1st down. On 2nd and 3rd down, they're bringing the heat. It's a continuous thing, and it's led to some predictability, and it's led to some difficulties for teams to overcome and adapt and continue for them to be able to make plays and get out of those situations. So it's definitely been one of the Achilles heels of this Bucs team so far. I don't know necessarily if it's going to change with Byron still calling the plays. Seems like he continues to make the same calls over and over again, expecting different results. But we saw what can happen when you give Brady the football and you let him do what he does best, and that's go out there and win games. And if they can continue to do that, then they should be in good shape.
Talk about Rashad White and his impact this year. I mean, 9 catches last week. He had 6 to 9, including the go-ahead touchdown. Does it seem like Brady has lots of confidence in this kid? I wouldn't say I think he's more talented than James White, but that's kind of what I think about him right now. It seems like, look, if Brady can't go deep consistently and he's not able to complete those passes unless he's doing those checkdowns to White, and he has that confidence because when White gets out in the open field, he's able to make things happen. Do you see that? Do you see that he's developing that confidence with White over the last couple of weeks?
Absolutely. He's got that patience, that vision that can really kind of take things and that are not there and transform them into gains and positive yardage. So he's definitely a little bit different than James White, who's never really a rusher, more just a receiving threat.
Sure.
On that last play of the game, you saw kind of, Leonard was out there first, and it was a late switch from him to Rashad White. You talk about after the game that they've utilized that play call a bunch in practice, and they had a lot of trust in him. Cade Otton as well. Both rookies really stepped up. They continue to step up. The progress that they've made since coming to training camp now, it's as soon as this offseason comes around and they're able to gain some more muscle, put the more work in, I think they're going to have a really bright future for the Bucs organization. Looks like they hit on both of those picks. And, I think down the line, this year is still going to be that kind of 50-50 split, 40-60 split with Rashad White getting less carries, but he's making a case to potentially be the starter next year, and we'll see how that develops. But as long as he keeps making plays like that, game-winning touchdown. It was funny. He's leaving the locker room like, "Did you get your game-winning touchdown ball?" He's like, "Oh, I forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I had to go back in the locker room and get it." So, but
Good
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, he showed out.
Yeah, he definitely showed out. And, of course, he had a fumble, and you're able to overcome that. Scotty Miller comes in from Mike Evans. First and foremost, do you believe that Mike Evans is 100%? I get it. He's the only one that can tell you if he is or not. But from what you see on the field, is the separation there? We saw Brady kind of miss him a couple of times tonight, but does he seem like he's 100% to you? And then Scotty Miller comes in off the bench for Mike Evans. Go ahead and explain why that happened. Evans makes a big, Miller makes a big play on that third down conversion.
I don't know if anyone's really 100% at this point, including Mike Evans. There's bumps and bruises, and everyone's dealing with something at this point in the season. So, it wouldn't be surprised me if Evans is dealing with something that's, not big enough to put on the injury report, but still, impacting his play. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised there. But, it's the NFL. Like I said, everyone's playing with issues right now. It's just kind of how you deal with them. And he's going to have to continue to work through whatever's ailing him. And, hopefully that chemistry comes back and develops between him and Brady. He didn't get a target for almost the entire first half. It was late in that first half where he finally got the target.
Yes.
And it was the play that was almost really ruled incomplete.
Yes. I tell you right now, it looked like the Calvin Johnson rule at that point, and he's able to hold on to it. Of course, 14 yards for that. With that being said, with the offensive line and Tristan Wirfs being out, go ahead and give me a grade on it tonight because they only give up 1 sack. I get it. Donovan Smith has some penalties. He's the most penalized player in the league. But overall, that offensive line without Tristan Wirfs did a pretty good job to protect Tom Brady tonight, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Brady gets the ball out so fast, too. It helps to negate any of those pressure situations. And the Saints – They brought the heat, but there was some stout protection. There was a few times where Brady felt it and he was able to escape it, get the ball out quickly. There's a few times, that unfortunately the pressure was coming and, he missed some throws. He had Mike Evans across the field at one point. He had Chris Godwin across, coming on a deep route that he missed because the pressure was there. They let up some pressures, but it could have been a lot worse. They did a bang up job, especially as you mentioned, without Wirfs going up against the Saints defensive line, who we know can wreak havoc with
Cam
Davenport
Jordan.
and Onyemata and Cam Jordan. Exactly. They were still able to get their hands on some balls and tip some passes along the line of scrimmage. So credit to them, but the Bucs barely did enough to win. But an ugly win, still a win in the book. So
at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. I'll get you out of here on this. With this win, do you think that gives them momentum to go to San Francisco, catching San Francisco at the right time? Jimmy Garoppolo out for the year. Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. I know he looked good, but he's still a rookie quarterback. There's a reason why he was drafted where he was drafted. I mean, in your opinion, could this be an advantage for the Bucs, or at the end of the day, who the hell knows with this team?
Right, exactly. I mean, the defense that San Francisco has is still no joke. I mean, it really hasn't been an issue of the Bucs defense allowing teams to run all over them. The Chiefs were like one of the lone exceptions there,
right?
Where they gave up a lot of points. But so it's really going to come down to what the offense can do. Is the offense going to look stagnant like it did for the first 3 and almost 4 and almost the entirety of the game?
Entirety of the game. I'm watching you tweet and you're going, I think I'll just stop live tweeting right now. I just can't do it anymore. I'm like, please, no, don't quit, don't stop. And that's the thing. Like, you're watching this game, and again, you're willing to just pull out your hair because you expect more on prime time. And then all of a sudden, they just turn on that switch like a great team does. And look, I'm not in favor of it. I think you got to have more urgency early. I think that would be better. But this team, again, they find a way to get it done. So good stuff as always, JC. I tell you what, go ahead and promote yourself here on the Sports Web, my friend.
Yeah, man, I had little confidence in this Bucs team. The Saints have owned them at Ray J.
Yep.
I picked against them in our Peter predictions. Just watching the game unfold, it was just it was just to keep your sanity from watching this. You're just cracking jokes in the press box.
Right. That's it.
I've
been there, bro. I've been in that press box, and I've seen some bad offensive teams, and that's what. I keep on getting hit up by Bucs fans. Like, is this really happening? You got Julio Jones, you got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, and I get it. Godwin was hurt for the half of the year. Now he's starting to get better. It seems like Julio Jones is starting to get better. You have all these weapons. They shouldn't struggle like this, but they are struggling. But again, I mean, what can you do at this point besides just sit back and say, okay, put it in Brady's hands? And sure enough, 44 fourth quarter comebacks surpassing Peyton Manning. Amazing. JC, you're amazing, my friend. Thanks a lot for the call. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Sports Web.
Yeah, absolutely. Find me on my work at pewterreport.com, and you can find me on Twitter, on the Twitter machine at JC Allen NFL. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
Peter.
Appreciate you. As always, let me give you the Ric Flair.
Woo!
Appreciate you, buddy. Don't be a stranger here on the Sports Web, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff there. JC Allen. I told you. You never know who's going to call in next. Who's going to call in next? Is it going to be B.A., Jason Lights? Well, you just had TJ Reeves. You had JC Allen. Who's next here on the Sports Web? We're at 1:22 in the morning. Let's continue to read these comments. And again, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Aren't you guys glad if I can talk here? Because it seems like I've been talking ever since like 8 o'clock this morning. I do a sales job, take about 800 or 900 calls. Older crotchety people that don't want to talk to me, cursing me all day long. Aren't you glad that I'm not like married or have a girlfriend or something? I'm here with you after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the New Orleans Saints 17-16. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you.
How about them Bucs, baby?
I want to hear from you. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. All right, let's go out to Dave here. Let Brady call the plays. Left, which is lost. Brady for OC. We said it. New hashtag, let Brady call the plays. Hashtag, let Brady call the plays. White is a rock star. Absolutely agree with that. Please tell me why we can't drive the damn ball like this throughout the game. Why do we come alive with 2 minutes left? I have no idea, TJ, but thanks a lot for the comment. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and give you the Ric Flair. Woo! All right, let's go out to Dave here. Smith is a drive killer. Time to find and draft his replacement. He screws up at the wrong time every time. He's absolutely had a rough year this year. Once again, mentioning it, the most penalized player in the league. Well, we heard from the great TJ Reeves. Nick Leverett, shake it off to Donovan Smith. We got this. We're going to get you. And they fought through adversity. And that's what counts. And you got to love it. The Bucs need to run and huddle offense for the rest of the year. Thanks a lot, Fred. Appreciate you. Let me give you the Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Got plenty of sound effects here. I don't know why I'm neglecting you guys. Saints defense is decent. Absolutely decent. Of course, missing Marshawn Lattimore. They've had their own defensive injuries. They've had their own injuries on offense and defense. But you know what? So are the Bucs. Missing Tristan Wirfs. Missing Antoine Winfield Jr. Missing Mike Edwards. Missing Sean Murphy-Bunting. So, again, next man up, step up, and that's exactly what Keanu Neal did tonight. Donovan Smith tried to throw the game again like he did last week. Ben Parrish, Buckaholics for life. I love it. Fire the cannons for that. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. I said it was over when it was 13-3, but this team showed up. LFG.
How about them Bucs, baby?
LFG. Yeah, baby, I'm pumped up. All right, let's go out to Ben here. Hanford, California, repping Bucs for life. LFG.
Yeah, baby.
LFG. Let's go out to TJ. Go Bucs, baby. F the Saints. I agree.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Carl here. Oh, yes, I hate the Saints. So do I.
How about them Bucs, baby?
So do I.
Yes. Yes.
So do I. B-U-C-C-A-N-E-E-R-S. Go Bucs. All right, enough of that. I'm having too much fun here. What is it? 1:30 in the morning. We're having a party here on the Evolution. Get on the phone line. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. As a Vikings fan, I want to say good job to the Bucs for their big win. One day, I hope we get to play each other. We shall see. because the Vikings took care of business yesterday, so congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot for tuning in, Ashley. Appreciate you. Always, NFL fans, welcome to the evolution. I'm not going to tell you not to call this show if you're a Viking fan. I'm not going to tell you not to call this show if you're Saints fan. You better call this show and take the L. But I'll let you call the show. You want to spew some nonsense? We say 3 things. Let me reset it. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense at 1:30 in the morning. I don't care about my neighbors. I pay rent. Deal with it. All right. So I was sweating like a whore in church. I'm still sweating, and has nothing to do with the Bucs at this point. It has to do with the air conditioning going out. So good comment as always. Let's go out to Rush. Brady looks like Kevin Bacon. Well, he was footloose tonight, wasn't he?
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Edward. Peter H. Blake, I know you're ecstatic. I am. Because I hate coming on this show, even though you think I like getting mad. Because it was red day, right? Red night, red out. I love the color red. I don't want to be angry with red. And trust me, you guys were 5 minutes away from that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have a heart attack on my show. I don't. So it's good they win. It's good the way they win. Again, this edition of the Sports Web brought to you by Tums, because everybody tonight has heartburn, including yours truly. Thank God I got one of those beds that can recline, if you will. 57 minutes look like crap, 3 minutes like a contender. Bucs were playing lucky. Well, it's better to be lucky, I guess, right? Still good, still great. I get your art. I understand what you're saying. I love the passion as always. Let me go ahead and
baby. Yeah.
Sergio says, so play amazing last fourth quarter, last 2 minutes ago. Yeah, I guess that's the plan. I love how Brady didn't even look at the sidelines on the 4th down when they wanted to punt and Brady wanted to go for it. You got to love it. He's a fiery competitor. Say whatever you want to, and we have on this show. We have been critical of Tom Brady. I told you. This is a family affair. Mom, Aunt Tammy, even the sister looking at me like I'm crazy. What the hell are you talking about? You're talking about Tom Brady there. I mean, they talked about me like I killed my dog or something. We go back and forth on it, but we have been very critical. He's not hitting all his throws. He talked about it. He'll talk about it on his podcast again. Trust me. And we will mention it. That's a leader, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to take the accountability. That's what he is. That's why he's the greatest of all time. Let's go out to Shooter and Stash there. Good stuff there, Ed. Let me go ahead and give you that.
Yeah.
Peter, they did it. Absolutely, they did.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Don't be a stranger on this show. We got lots to talk about, my friend. Not only the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing somewhat well, but how about your Tampa Bay Lightning in Stammer time? How about that? Love it. I got to get some Tampa Bay Lightning stuff back there. You guys got to help me out with that. That is too plain back there. We got Bucs and Rays. We got no USF. By the way, they have a new coach. Congratulations to them. We'll talk about that earlier today or tonight, if you will, when we're on the Sports Web at 9 o'clock. Live on I Love St. Pete, the hub, and Amped Up Sports. But got to get some USF stuff and definitely some Lightning stuff there. Guess you missed the opening drive. Well, I watched the opening drive. It was 3 points, 16-play drive. But it's disappointing. You go that long and you accumulate all those yards and you only get a field goal. That's disappointing. They got to work on that. Demario Davis is a beast. Made a great play on that interception before halftime. He's always killed the Bucs. He's always killed us. Very much underrated linebacker. And I don't know why they don't talk about him more. He's very underrated. Opening drive, another red zone drive ending with 3 points. Agree. Brent says, Tom still clutch as absolute.
Flawless victory.
Yes, Shooter and Stash here. How the hell are they going to score versus the 49ers? No huddle all game. Why not? Wear out the defense so they can't substitute. Come out and punch them in the mouth. Wear their asses out. Past 10 o'clock. Give you a little language. You're privileged to hear it. Why not? Oh, the big bad San Francisco 49ers, who have a rookie quarterback. I get it. They have a defense. They also have defensive injuries. The line is going to be beat up. You're going to have to scheme. Why not? Come out, get an early lead. Give the poor Bucs fans out there some heart attack relief. Some of you guys having cardiac arrest in my DMs. Poor guy, I'm trying to watch the game, and you guys are killing me with this. All right, pass rush was there when we needed it. Good thing we played Dalton, who is allergic to primetime wins. Very good comment. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Trace. Trace, welcome to the Evolution. Art Koch, I agree. Arts Brent says, let Brady call the plays.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let Brady call the plays.
Okay.
Let Brady call the plays.
Yes. Yes.
Agree. Let's go out to Bermuda here. Bucs in the Super Bowl. No chance. I would shave my head if that happens. Well, you might have to shave your head, my friend. Still a good comment. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You shave your. If the Bucs go to the Super Bowl, you know you're coming on this show. I'll send you the link. You're going to shave your head. So be careful now. Throw out some stuff like that. Got to back it up. All right. Yes. F the Saints. Yes, I'll give you that.
Flawless victory.
Let's go out to TJ. Even on Madden, the Bucs are better with no huddle offense. I think everybody on Madden is better with no huddle offense.
Boom shakalaka.
Let me go out to Fred. Let Brady call the plays. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Rick says, I came into the game not caring how it happened as long as it happened, and it happened.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Christopher Cole. Bucs were 0-69 when they trailed by 8 more points. Guess what? They're 1-69.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Bowles needs to be aggressive. You can't keep coaching to lose. That's the Lovie Smith approach. Yes, it is. Agree with that.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Let's go out to TJ Barber. Man, what happened to us in the red zone? First drive and still can't finish unless it's the final 2 minutes. Disappoint and unacceptable, but still able to get it done.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's go out to John Wolf. It has been the offensive line. Absolutely talked about the offensive line throughout this. I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah.
Brady did awesome in the end. Todd Bowles' head coaching stinks. Offensive coaching stinks. Really bad. He needs to go. But they last for another day because, once again, they get a win.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Dave says Julio catch was crazy. Absolutely, it was.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go out to Christopher Cole. If Evans doesn't get grabbed, the catch is that ball for a touchdown. Absolutely, because that ball was on the money. And again, that is the reason why you have to involve Mike Evans into this offense somehow, some way. I don't care if he's double covered or triple covered. That guy is a mismatch nightmare at the end of the day. You cannot guard 6'5", 6'6", with 4.5 deceptive speed. We've seen Mike Evans go off. He'll continue to go off. He is a mismatch nightmare. Hurt or no hurt. Figure out a way to get him the ball. Good comment as always. Let me give you the Ric Flair.
Woo!
All right. What an ending. Absolutely, Derek. Thank you, Derek. Again, so many left after the punt. I'm glad I wasn't one. A chance to see that Brady magic in person. By the way, I never understood this as a sports fan. In Miami Heat, you are absolutely famous for this. Now, come on now. Tell me, Bucs fans, we're not the Miami Heat. What are you trying to get home for? Traffic is going to happen no matter what. I get it. It's disappointing all night long. You bought $11 or $12 beers. You bought this, maybe $20, $30 in concessions, but enjoy the experience because anytime Tom Brady has the ball in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes to go, guess what? He's money. He is money.
Here comes the money.
Absolute money. So why would you leave that? Why? What are you getting home to see? The Late Show? Nobody watches that. You're going to watch the Sports Web? I'm still here. You can watch it in the stadium. Why are you leaving? Shame on you fans. So upset, so negative, so spoiled. Only 2 years removed from winning the Super Bowl. Where? Enough of that.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Let Thomas effing Brady call the plays. Good.
Flawless victory.
Very good. We'll hashtag that. And if anybody tries to steal it, you tell them where you heard it from first, okay? It's the Sports Web. All right, Peyton's face was priceless when Neil made the play to give Brady the ball back with a chance to break his comeback record. Priceless. Beautiful. I love it.
Woo!
All right, let's go out to Nissan here. Donovan, liability. I agree. We talked about that.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Going to keep on going through these comments until somebody calls. We are almost at the 2 o'clock hour, so we'll see if we can get to 2 o'clock. If not, we'll get off here early. On the last play, Wells had a big block against Jordan. That's what I'm saying. Like, it will be overlooked because you'll talk about Donovan Smith and you'll talk about Cam Jordan getting a sack. But overall, without your best offensive lineman and a Tristan Wirfs, you're still getting it done. You only gave up 1 sack all night. I get it. The Saints are banged up, but still, that's an offensive line that has all kinds of moving pieces. Hats off to them. Give credit to where credit's due. And I tell you right now, there was pressure on Brady's face tonight. You saw him scale the pocket. I like seeing Brady scale. Not the fastest guy, subtle movement, up in the pocket, throw the ball. Give your wide receiver a chance. I like to see that out of Brady. Once again, competitive fire. Good stuff, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Christopher Cole, move Wirfs to left tackle, put Luke Gedeke at right tackle next year. I guess that's certainly a possibility, correct, says Dave. Peter, great stuff. Good night, my friend. Good night to you, my friend.
Flawless victory.
James Anderson, fire the cannons. We shall. All right, a miracle night. Absolutely it was.
Yes!
Let's go out to James here. Yes, down 3 seconds. Absolutely. Dave says about to go to sleep, but TJ came on. Damn you, TJ. That's the reason why you got to tune in. We got the greatness of TJ Reeves gracing us with his presence of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Are you guys happy? Are you satisfied? You should be.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you got to tune in. Another show out there like that right now that's on. I guarantee you there's not a show on right now talking about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, talking about the NFL, talking about Monday Night Football, giving you the opportunity to say what you want to say as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. I guarantee you there's not. But there is right now. It is the evolution of sports talk television. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. The defense and offense are both needed to win. They are the tools to win. Let's hope they can score more points. Complimentary football. Absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Dave, let's go out. Screw the Aints. Agree.
Flawless victory.
Let's go out to Dave again. Cam Jordan, crap talking thug.
Oh, yeah.
94% to win the division. I like it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go out to Jordan here. That was a game. It was absolutely a game.
How about them Bucs, baby?
The replacements. Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Jordan again. Vita Vea was a beast, the real game changer, along with Hakeem Hicks. We talk about it, this defensive line getting healthier. What's the difference? Stop the run game, make the Saints one-dimensional. I like your chances. Do the same thing to San Francisco. Do the same thing to every team. Put them in unmanageable situations when it comes to third down, and I think you're in business with this defense. And get them off the field. Your offense has to start sustaining drives. You can't go 3 and out. You got to have these long drives. Possession. Wear the opposing defense out. Punch them in the mouth. That's what I'm looking forward to on Sunday versus the 49ers. Hopefully the Bucs come out with that same urgency. Let's go out to James. It's been a fun night. It has been a fun night. 92% says Christopher Cole.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Emerson. Should Tristan Wirfs be back next week? I doubt it, but good comment anyway.
Okay.
All right, let's go out to Dave here. Love TJ, but get Mean Gene on too. We will work on that. I met that man when I was 8 years old, going out to Bucs Fan Fest. Yes, they used to have a Bucs Fan Fest at the old Sombrero. Got a chance to meet him, signed my shirt, met him 30 years later in the press box. And I know Mean Gene because Mean Gene also is the announcer for my other favorite team, and that would be the Florida State Seminoles. Hall of Fame announcer, Hall of Fame guy. Met him a couple times, unbelievable. So we'll work on it. David says, never count Tom Brady and the Buccaneers out. Absolutely.
Flawless victory.
Let's go out to Dave. Hey, Todd, you have the best quarterback to ever play. Trust him. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
BA left you a gift, team. Let them work. Absolutely. Let's go out to Vic. Y'all did a good job. I know you're a Saints fan. We're not enemies. You can always call the show, but you got to take the L tonight, don't you? You know how great it is not to have some trolls tonight? We don't have Troy Polamalu. We don't have Roger Shue. Look at all the Bucs Nation right now. You know, no trolls. Isn't that nice? Now JC is on. Stop it, Peter. You got to go to sleep. I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to read all these comments and then I'll get off. We can't sleep on San Francisco's defense. Agree. And they have, their fair share of injuries, but also players. Nick Bosa, is he going to be healthy in that game? Number 1 defense in the National Football League, a surprising victory. Of course, I forgot to mention this because I went there this weekend and lost money because I bet against the San Francisco 49ers. Go to uwager.lv, promo code SportsWeb for all your wagering needs. 80% bonus, uwager.lv, promo code SportsWeb. And yes, I lost my money because I bet against the San Francisco 49ers, even with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy from Iowa, who he's well coached from Kirk Ferentz. So, and all you hear to talk is Kyle Shanahan loves him. Played well. Give him credit. Not an explosive offense. They got enough weapons. Deebo Samuel, of course. Christian McCaffrey. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to punch you in the mouth. There may be another low-scoring game. It may come down to the fourth quarter. We shall see on Sunday. And Dave says, sweating after a Bucs win is worth it, Peter. Absolutely. Tell you what, let's keep on reading some of these comments. Let's go out to I Love St. Pete. Let's see if we can get some comments from them. Because for some reason, they don't show the comments here on StreamYard. So let's see if we got any comments. Okay. Let's see. David says, you got it. Got to give it to Josh Wells. He played a hell of a game, and he shut down Cam Jordan pretty much the whole night. Good comment.
Ooh, yeah.
Cole says, I was at the game. That was a boring game with a fantastic finish. Can I get, how about them Bucs, baby? You can.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Let's go out to Cole again, my CSB brother. I lost my voice telling the D to well up. Good stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Hopefully you don't have to work tomorrow. I do, but that's okay. I got enough energy for the Energizer Bunny. I could be here all night. Our pass rush needs to get a lot better. If we do make the playoffs, it won't be for long. And die-hard fans stay absolutely.
How about them Bucs, baby?
All right. So let's see if we got any more comments here. Let's go out to the hub as we're trying to navigate here. I'll tell you what, real quick, let's go ahead and take a break here from our sponsor, our only sponsor. If you want to sponsor the evolution of sports talk television, get in contact with me, inbox me at Peter H. Blake. Here we go from UWager.
uwager.lv, Sportsbook, and Casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SportsWeb. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
That's right. You can't win if you don't play. uwager.lv, promo code SportsWeb. Let's go out to the statistics here. Finally, for the game, total yards, Bucs 350 to 298 for the Saints. I think you would have to say with the 3 and out, still the Bucs dominated this game for the majority of it, but that was the most frustrating thing, especially in that first half. 8 first downs to 1 there before halftime, but the Bucs only managed 3 points. 274 passing yards, of course, by the great Tom Brady there. 36 for 54, 281, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing-wise, 10 for 49 for Leonard Fournette. Rashad White, of course, 9 for 28 when it came to rushing. Chris Godwin, 8 for 63. Looks like he's fully healthy now. 2-3 weeks in a row. He looks great. Mike Evans, 4 for 59. Started off a little bit slow there. Of course, the matchup that everybody was looking forward to that did not happen. Marshawn Lattimore was out of this game. Give credit to where credit is due. They started to find Mike Evans, and of course, Mike Evans drew the pass interference penalty that really put the Bucs in business with Cade Otton scoring a touchdown. Rashad White, 6 for 41. Of course, the key go-ahead touchdown there. Leonard Fournette, 6 for 32. K. Dotton, 6 for 28. Of course, the touchdown before to make it 16-10. Julio Jones, amazing catch tonight, 3 for 28. Keep, 1 for 12. Russell Gage, it's nice to see him back. We'll see if they can get him fully healthy, 1 for 11. And, of course, Scotty Miller, 1 for 7, a key third down conversion for the Bucs. Once again, Levante David leading the way with 12 total tackles, 1 sack. Keon O'Neal, probably the biggest play of the night with the knockdown to Taysom Hill there. Looked like they converted third down. He makes a play. Up and down night, but he definitely 5 tackles overall. 1 sack by Carl Nassib, 2 tackles there. Also, William Golston, 6 tackles total. Zion McCollum, a rough night, but had 5 tackles, and Logan Ryan was good to see him back. Not a good night for Mr. Jake Carmada. 5 punts, 49 average, but the last couple punts there, when you don't go for on fourth down, a net of 20 and 28. On the Saints side here, you got Andy Dalton, 20 for 28, 229, 1 touchdown. Of course, Taysom Hill threw a pass for 21 yards. Mark Ingram, 7 for 27. Alvin Kamara, the weapon that's always killed the Bucs, largely ineffective tonight, 12 for 26. Receiving wise, Rashid Shaheed, the undrafted rookie who's really come on here the last couple of weeks, 4 for 75. You had Taysom Hill, 2 for 35, a 1 touchdown. And, of course, the lone sack here, you have not only Cameron Jordan, but also, I thought you had Cameron Jordan here, but it doesn't look like he had a sack. So I don't know what's going on here. I think that's wrong. I know for a fact it was Cam Jordan who had a sack in this game. And, of course, DeMario Davis with an interception. Stats-wise, rushing only 76 for the Bucs tonight, 270 or 281, 350 total. Third down efficiency, a lot better tonight, 8 for 15 compared to the Saints, who were 5 for 14, still need to work on it. 75 total plays compared to the Saints, 56. Again, sacks allowed, only 1 by the Bucs, 2 by the Saints. Key ones, penalties tonight, 4 for 39. Very fortunate with Donovan Smith there taking a touchdown off the board, but once again, they were able to overcome that. And of course, Rashad White early on in the game had a fumble. And as we talked about, Brady throws to DeMario Davis. Time of possession, 30-29, so evenly matched game there. But overall, the Bucs are able to get the win to go to 6-6. We'll be back tomorrow night here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to all the guests. The great TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. And, of course, JC Allen up here to report. Like I said, like and follow the Sports Web on YouTube. Like I Love St. Pete, The Hub, and Amped Up Sports. And go friend me on Facebook, Peter H. Blake, as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business with Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. His 44th comeback win, surpassing Peyton Manning. 3 things here late on this Tuesday morning, Monday night. Victory Tuesday. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And guess what? Bucs fans, it's your time. Have a great night.